Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are on the planet. Hope all is well. Hope everything's going great where you are. Hope your bass playing's going fabulous, of course. Welcome, live chat 111 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. Stacey Ann from North Carolina, good to see you. Thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Hope you're all good out there. It is 8 o'clock here. It's Tuesday. It's Brooks's Bass Corner coming to you live from London town here in the UK. If you want to talk bass guitars, bass effects, anything to do with bass playing, great bass players, other bass channels, other YouTube channels that do bass, come on here, chat, come and get involved. You can join in live, as you'll see the banners on the screen. You can come and join in live. There's a ticker running along the bottom of the screen. Email me, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll get your email. I then email you an invite. You click on the invite and you come in live here on the screen. You can join me for a video chat about bass. If you don't want to be visual on the screen, but you want to have a chat, you can do it by audio. We can do the same process. You email me, I send you an invite, you click on the invite, you come in. But when I bring you live to screen, you just turn the camera part of your device off. It's as simple as that. Very easy. You're amongst friends, so if you've got any problems with your bass gear, maybe your bass is playing up, maybe you're trying to change the strings on it, maybe you've got a multi-scale bass like a Dingwall or an Ibanez or a Spector, and it's causing you a problem, come in and ask. If I don't know the answer, I'll open it up to the floor and the fine people that we have here on the Brooks's Bass Corner live chats. So, birthday week for me was yesterday. Thank you to everyone who's wished me happy birthday and what have you. Westford, good to see you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I got loads through yesterday on social media and email. People who've got my private number. WhatsApp was going ballistic, so thank you very much. Thank you, Juice. Good to see you. Welcome. It was a mixed day. I was kind of tied to being here at home. I intimated last week on the live chats, we were supposed to get a full fiber high-speed broadband upgrade yesterday. The first one that we've had here in the road where I live for 20 years. Because we're sort of partly rural, we've got obviously the lines here, but they hadn't done an upgrade in years. And we, about 3 years ago, we tried to do an upgrade and go for a better product, more speed, blah, 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 blah. And we got told we'd love to accommodate you, but the simple fact is the cable running down the middle of your road under the ground isn't capable of running at any speed other than what you've got. You've got the fastest product you can have. And we were like, well, what can we do? And they said, well, nothing until the infrastructure gets upgraded. You can't do anything. So we've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And lo and behold, the past kind of 6 months, there've been loads of BT vans here in the road that bisects our road, digging up the road, laying cables. And I said to one of the guys about 5 months ago, just before Christmas, what are you doing? And they said, we're putting in high-speed fibre, so you'll be able to go, you know, hell for leather on your uploads and your downloads. It was like, okay. So we waited to be contacted, and they contacted us. So would you like to upgrade? So absolutely. They booked it in for the 24th of April. I then got a message 2 days later saying, oh, we're moving it to the 28th. I was like, great, my birthday. Okay. I said, how long do we need to be? Oh, probably for about 2 hours. But your slot will be between 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. I thought, okay, it's not so bad. I could do something in the afternoon, in the evening. And we got up nice and early yesterday and got ready and waiting at 8 o'clock and nothing, and 9 o'clock, nothing, and then get a phone call at 10 to 10 to say the engineer's not coming. We're trying to find another engineer for you. Dawson, thank you for the birthday wishes. We're trying to find another engineer to come and do your work. But you're going to need to stay where he could come at any point up till 6 o'clock. I said, well, if he turns up at 6, he's not going to stay till 8 o'clock at night, is he? They went, well, no. I said, right, so can you give us a sort of tight down a little? They said, we can't. So basically we had to stay put. And eventually a very nice guy turned up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and he started doing all the work, and he said, we've got a problem. I said, go on. He said, you're supposed to be on that telegraph pole over there, but you're actually on the telegraph pole over there. They've done the work that you need to have done on the wrong pole. I said, well, I'll tell you what's happened. We had a branch come down about a year ago when we had some bad weather, and it took a load of the phone lines down. So clearly they've thought, because we're on the row of these houses in our road, that we're all on the same pole, but we're not. So 1, 2, 3, 5 of them are on one pole and 2 of us are on another. And they thought we were on the other pole. So he said, I'd love to be able to connect you today, but I can't. He said, I've got the wrong vehicle. We need one with a cherry picker on the back. Clearly his van didn't have that. So he said, we're going to have to book that in for another day. I said, well, when? He said, I don't know. He said, I'll go back and tell because they're the subcontractors. I'll go back, tell them this is what we need to do, and then we'll play it by ear. You'll just have to wait until, could be up to 3 months. So my other half's going absolutely crackers, going, we're having it now. We need it now. And I then got in touch with BT and said, look, the contractor is contacting his side, and I've been told to contact you and tell you this is what needs to happen. Lo and behold, my partner, my next door neighbour, was having exactly the same upgrade today. And a different guy arrived, and there shouldn't have been any problem because he's on the right pole. No, they needed a cherry picker for him as well to reroute his line. It's a complete disaster. BT, in, get this right, 27 years of owning properties, you've done 4 installs for me, and every time since 2002, it's been a complete bloody shambles. You'd expect by now they'd have got their act together when it comes to doing broadband and upgrades and everything else. No. So if you're in a rural area in the UK or somewhere that's having an upgrade, just be prepared. It ain't going to go smoothly. It won't happen on the day. Don't let them turn your broadband off. Thankfully, everything is as it was yesterday morning. Nothing's changed. He's put a box on my wall. There's one on the outside. Now they've got to come and do the physical cable rerouting and everything else. A shambles. So that was the bulk of my day. And while he's doing all that, I then get a phone call, a video call from a friend of mine who's a dear friend, getting on, 74 tomorrow. And I get told he's got leukemia and they don't know how long he's got. Hopefully, if you're watching, Walter, you've got years and years of living ahead of you. But he was telling me he's been ill for about 5 or 6 months, didn't know, had a lung infection, went for loads of tests, and they then told him he's got leukemia. So, and he has apparently a 90 to 95% successful chance that everything will work out for the best. And hopefully by August, he'll get the all clear, but we don't know. So Walter, if you're watching, fight, mate, as hard as you can. I can't come and see you like I used to. The trips don't happen like they used to, but if things go wrong, I'm heading your way. So I've been in touch with your kids. We've had a little chat, and we'll see how everything pans out. So for those of you who know me, know my escapades with Walter from Elat, he needs your well wishes. So we're hoping everything pans out for the best. So I got hit with that. We had a very nice curry, but it was a bit of a write-off of a birthday, if I'm honest. Had some lovely presents, one of which I'll show you in a moment. One, for those of you who tuned in last week, you've seen already, which was the Kramer Spector NS2. Birthday present to myself, pretty much. Looking after it for an old friend who's now departed. But there was another present, so I'll show you that shortly. Bill Derbyshire, trust you had a great birthday. I've just explained that one. Cheers, Bill. Thank you. Some guy, thank you very much. Dawson saying hello to Stacey. Keith Doherty, well done, sir. Thank you very much. So that was that. Last week, gigs. I only had the one. So we had Crazy Little Thing Called Queen in Bishop Stortford, South Mill Arts Centre. I've got some great footage Oh my days. So I set up a camera, drummer set up a camera. We basically got two opposite sides of the stage. So when that gig vlog goes up, you're going to get a really good video. So that was that show. We had a blast. If you were there, highly unlikely. But if you were there, hope you enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun. Hopefully come back and see you soon. This week, got two gigs. Got a request show gig on Friday in Greek Street Live, around the corner from Tottenham Court Road Tube. And then Saturday, I'm in, get it right, Henley, doing an outdoor festival with This Is Queen. So more Queen gigs coming my way. I'll film both for the gig vlogs. Thank you for all the kind comments about last week's gig vlog that I put up on, that was Thursday, I think, Thursday last week. Thank you. Gig vlog 6. Let me just find that for you. Checking the stream health was all good. Yep. Excellent. That's what we like to see. So last week's gig vlog, just get a link for you in case you've missed it. So that was with Supersonic Queen down at St. Peter's Church in Poole in the middle of March. So there we go. So if you want to check that out, feel free. The link is right there. It's a slightly longer gig vlog than the others. Just to forewarn you, it's about 27 minutes long, which is a good 14 minutes longer than I would normally do. But I had a lot of people asking for more gig footage within the gig vlogs. It's hard because I can't show any singing parts because that's going to incur copyright strikes, copyright claims, and I'm trying to avoid that as much as I can, of course. So I have to go for the instrumental sections and the solos and that sort of thing. But it gives you a flavour of what the gig's about. That gig was great. We had lasers on it. It looked stunning. There is a really good video on Facebook. Now, let me see. Just bear me a minute. I've got to log in again, haven't I? Don't worry. There's a video on Facebook. If you go to St. Peter's Church, scroll down. St. Peter's Church in Poole, Parkstone is what it's called. If you scroll down their feed to around about mid-February, you'll see there's a shorts video with a ticket link for the second show that band's going to do there later in the year. There's a shorts reel video, and it shows you all the laser work. I couldn't really include it in the gig vlog because it's a shorts video rather than a long form video in a different screen ratio, so it would look really weird and a bit strange. But you can see what those lasers do. It's outstanding. We're very tempted we might incorporate that company's work into the Uncle Funk's Decades of Dance show. We will see. We will see. Our band leader's got all the pricing and everything else, so we will see. Dawson, Fair Warning by Van Halen turns 44 today. I can beat that by 9 years, don't you worry. What an eventful day. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's what we got coming up this week. Hopefully another gig vlog going live tomorrow. Possibly another one before Friday as well. Maybe another one on Friday. We will see how we go. And let me think, what else? Then next week I've got another Queen show in Norton. Let's get the days and the location right, shall we, Mike? It is in, I think it's Norton Lindsay. Let me just check here. Norton Lindsay. I don't know if it's a private do or a festival. That's on the 10th, Saturday the 10th of May. And then I've got a gig with Pure Queen, or it might be Radio Gaga. Same band, at the Marina Theatre in Lowestoft. So if you're out Suffolk, Norfolk way, I'll be heading your way on Saturday 17th. So I'll be out there. And then the following week, which is 23rd, 24th of May, I've got Oasis in Orpington in Kent. Again, I don't know if that's a public or a private do. And then we've got an Uncle Funk wedding on the 24th. Followed by Crazy Little Thing Called Queen at the Robin 2 in Bilston in the Midlands on Friday the 30th. I took a gulp of water before we went live. And then I've got a private do with Uncle Funk on the 31st. So that's my month. It's going to get busy next month. But don't worry. I did have David Gill from the US asking me, now that we're getting busy in summer season, does that mean you're going to abandon doing your Fretless Journey series? No. All the videos will start now, hopefully rolling out as we get into gig mode, because I know how my timetable sort of ends up being with the Fridays and Saturdays. So it actually focuses the amount of videos going up. So no, they'll be appearing very, very soon indeed. Here he is, Pink Bass Man. He is here. Good to see you. I'm going to bring you online. Let me just stick my headphones on. There we go, so we can hear what the young boy's got to say. Here he is.
Here I am.
How are you? Pink Bass, no less.
Yeah, we've got a bass in our hands yet.
That's it. That will be the... let me just take that banner down. People can see. That will be the rose blue Yamaha BB714BS.
Close.
3500.
Even better. This is the BB714BS.
There you go.
This would be the Billy Sheehan.
Exactly.
So yeah, right.
And you're slapping like a beast on it.
I've got a gig tonight, so I'm just jumping in for a wee bit and then off to the gig we go.
Fine. Very good. Where's the gig?
It's actually in town. Oh yeah, well, so it's called the Nash Jam, and it's right in Nashville in a place called the Vinyl Lounge. And this is one of the only times I play cover songs.
Is Mr. Sheehan attending?
I don't know. He comes in and out sometimes.
There you go.
This one, they assign a series of bands.
Hello.
That's my daughter.
You indeed.
Say hello to the pink-haired girl. Yes.
Yeah.
So they assign a group, like a band, and they give you a couple songs to play. So I'm playing 3 songs by The Cult. Which means I'm going to be going.
Busy. That's it. DCG all night. Yeah.
That's what I'm going to be doing, yeah. So I just have to get all the stops. Plus, I throw in some naughty bits because, it needs a little, it needs a wee bit of something.
It needs a little soup song. That's what it needs.
Pretty much. So,
there we
come up with something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got a nice pint of cider, so happy Tuesday, everyone. Hope you all have a good day, good evening. What have you got? Chocolate, dark chocolate.
85%.
Well, there you go. Get the sugar in you.
Actually, there's very little sugar in this one, which is why I selected it. Because they don't. This is one of those that's like drinking bitter tea. No sugar.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. So.
Very good. So, what's the news? What's happening?
Well, as of last Friday, this past, the Applehead record released from the label on a special pressing with red vinyl for the record lovers.
Nice. Lovely.
And a CD. It's actually bright red. Kind of like an apple. I could have made the pink lady jokes as far as an apple is concerned, but, we'll go with the red for now. Oh, right, Jazz Apple. Yeah, so, and then, of course, the CD, and the CD's coming out with some bonus tracks that are not on the previous issue, but this will be the last time they release it. So, get it while you can.
From all good record stores?
What's crazy is they've got worldwide distribution, so you should be able to order it from your local bloke.
Very good. Very good indeed. Do you have a link?
I do. And actually, if you want to see the label itself, I can throw it up here in the chat because I'm actually doing that as well.
Or if it won't let you, it won't let you post links. So if you email it to me, I'll copy it and stick it in.
I can do that.
You do that. You do that. So I've got his nibs and you were on late last week, you see. You missed the chat because we finished early.
Did, yeah.
So... Yes. Do I need to pull this out of the case? I think I do.
Bust it out. Yes, shall we?
It's part of my birthday present. All right.
Lovely. Let's go.
And in other news, a certain someone found the case.
How about that?
It was stuck on top of a load of cabinets, and no one could find it until someone was up on the roof of the studio looked down through the window at the skylight. There
Right.
was the case. I got a message yesterday.
Even better.
It is, so I'll be picking that up next time I'm in the vicinity.
Lovely.
Hey. Here she be. Very nice. Treated with care, of course.
Loving kindness, yes.
Yes. Nice red
There you
gloss. Right. It is number 2397. I thought it was an 86. It turns out it's a 1990.
Right. That'll be towards the end.
Yeah. Little chip
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Where are we? There we go. There she be. Nice bit of Pau Ferro on the board. Inlays, of course. Some of the gold on the hardware is starting to flake off, but that's okay.
Of course.
I can live with it. Yeah.
Well, this gives you an excuse to have to go visit with Guy Pratt.
Yeah. We've done interviews before.
Oh yeah, but not when you've got one of those in your hands to say, "Here, have a go."
Well, no, quite indeed. Well, he'll just say, "Well, I've got one," won't he?
Right.
There we are.
Yeah.
Anyway,
nice.
Very
Lovely.
nice, very super. Strings are deader than a tramp's vest, so we'll be changing those shortly. And I mean, remarkably well looked after. A few little chips and dings, but you'd expect it.
It's got to have a little love to it.
Yeah, and I don't think he ever really used this on gigs all that much. What I'm going to do is get this on the workbench, give the frets a clean up. It's not that dusty, so it just needs. I think the fingerboard needs a bit of lubrication.
Sure.
Just a little polish up. Just check everything's as it should be, and it'll be out on some gigs.
Sounds good. That's what it's designed for, anyway.
That's it. That's what it's built for. But
Right.
It will be looked after, and it will be on videos here on the channel very shortly. So yeah, that was my present to myself for the birthday.
Oh, sweet.
So yeah.
I get mine later in the year.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Except mine's a slightly different color, and I've already been asked if I'm going to pink it.
Nah, I think you need to leave that one. It's a lovely blue on its own.
It is. I'm going to leave that one specifically because I have another one in mind that's going to get tragically pinked.
So this is what I've been alluding to earlier in the chat, is this is my other present. So I haven't even sort of unwrapped this yet, really, properly. I'm not going to do it while we're on camera because this is going to need a bit of skill. And I don't want stuff to start falling out. So this is a copy of the Vault.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Big, which is a box set that was only released in Japan back in about, I think, 2012, 2013. It was never been cheap. It's very expensive. And
Always.
I've been chasing these online. There was one a while back that was cheaper, but I think there were some parts missing. So basically, it's got 20 CDs and 2 DVDs. A whole load of passes and books and photos, and it dates back to the very first album. So you have the demos and rehearsal tracks for the first album, second album, third album, fourth album. Then you've got the demo stuff from the What If album, a studio toolbox which is called a mystery disc. Then there's a 1996 Chicken George acoustic gig rehearsal, a Grand Cube Osaka from 2009 live disc, one from the Yokohama Arena, and then you start getting into the DVDs, and there's all sorts going. Anyway, so that's
lovely
birthday present. Very nice.
There you go. I think it was last year. They had released the first album again on blue vinyl for a limited run. I've got that one.
Okay.
I picked that one up, and then let's see, where's the other one? I have a couple of them. I got the I think the last one, the one they just released. I got a Japanese copy of it, so it's got the Obi strip on it and all that.
Okay. Well, last year on Record Day, I got this because in the UK we had this everywhere.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's a good one.
It's recorded Tokyo 2023.
Speaking of that, did you happen to pick up the most recent Talus record?
No.
So that was released last year.
Yeah, I remember him telling me about that when I last interviewed him, which was 2021.
I have it as well.
Saying that was coming out.
Right.
But then I think there was a bit of a delay with it, probably because of the Mr. Big stuff coming out. So
yep, that and the fact that the singer was dealing with cancer.
That's right. Yeah. In fact,
I mean,
I think he passed away just before I did that interview.
Yeah, because he never saw the release of it, even though he sang all over it.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. There we are. That's the news. So I will be in touch with you about the podcast very shortly.
Lovely.
So I've been doing a bit of research on that. So I will get my own series of those up, and then from my experience of that, I can plow that into what our podcast will do. So for anyone who's wondering, Jamie and I are going to do a bass podcast together very shortly.
Yes.
We've just got to do the background investigation rather than just sort of launch into it, and we don't do the right things from the off. I'm going to do my own podcast here on this channel, and it will go out to all the podcast platforms and what have you. And then from what my experience of that is, will then get fed into our joint one, so we do it properly.
Right.
So if there's a load of mistakes that I make, it won't be us that will be making them, it'll be me. So yeah.
Yes.
So
and I'm looking forward to that as well, you know.
Well, there'll be a lot of work coming your way, you know.
Well, you know, that's what we got to do, right?
That's it. Yeah. Well, we've got to script them out and work out what we're going to be talking about and how we're going to deliver it. So it'll be good. It'll be good.
It'll be fun. And then we talk about curry and tea
Brooksy
and
polish on it. Yeah.
Well, you know, Brooksy Polish suddenly had 4 things of curry, I see, so...
there was more than that. That was the birthday curry. There were, I think we had 4 main courses and 4 sides and a few other bits and bobs. And
nice.
We bought enough that it will last 3 days. So we had 1 lot yesterday, 1 lot tonight, and then we've decided we're going to freeze the rest. So we've got like an emergency curry. If
that's always important.
A weekend day when we're very busy and just thinking, can't be asked to cook. But
right.
Kill a curry. Right. We haven't got to order it. It's already there.
See, I've got curry in the freezer for emergency stuff. I've got emergency curries all kinds of places.
Exactly. Yes, indeed.
Now, did you get
like like alien blood? It'll be
right.
melting the planet.
Oh, yeah.
The heat you have, yeah.
Yeah. Did you get cake?
Well, in theory, yes.
In theory, right.
I had some cake left over. But the other half was going off to get the cake yesterday, and we had a problem on the road here where the major dual carriageway outside our area, outside our road, had all sorts of nonsense going. You wouldn't actually have been able to get across the carriageway to get to the other side to then go to where the cake shops are. So I said, because I'm very grown up about this thing, and I knew we'd have loads of curry, and I don't want to eat a load of cake on top of curry. Said, we'll get it later in the week. So tomorrow we're going shops, cake. Yeah.
Sounds like a photo op for tomorrow.
The amount of times I've had birthday cake and then been too full to eat it actually on my birthday. So it's fun.
Yep.
Experience, you see.
Indeed. Well, you know, I got a few nick on you there, so you know.
Yes. Just a few.
Just a few.
Yeah. So that was it, really. That was the birthday for this year. So it's fine.
Excellent.
Carry on.
And I wasn't trying to suggest that you should be even more skint if you're going to go after some more status that I spotted.
Yeah. There was nothing there that was pulling the plums, if I'm honest. The Chris Wolstenholmes don't, you know, an amazing player, but I have no real connection to Muse or Chris Wolstenholme. So when people go, but I've got a £4,000 status Chris Wolstenholme, I'm like, I don't really care.
Bravo, lad, bravo.
And I've got loads of statuses here, so you know, there's nothing about that bass that would make me go, I've got to have that. He had a Series 3000 in there. It's all right. And I think there was a Series 2 and probably a couple of Series 2 classics, but there was nothing there that was making me go, oh my God, I've got to buy one of those.
Right. I just saw a pile of status and went, Michael.
Oh, of course. I'll always look at those sort of things because you never know. There might be something in there that I see and go, I know what that is.
Right.
But there was nothing. I mean, the guy's situation is horrible. He's had a stroke.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
He's going to have to let his collection go. But yeah, there was nothing in. I'm spoiled. I've got empathies and matrices and streamlines, and I've kind of got the statuses I want. Oh, Stacey Ann, thank you very much.
Stacey.
The lovely Stacey. Get you. Thank you very much appreciated. I need to get in there. I need to like that. I've got to show that too. And I need to go into there. And I need to do that. And got to like that. So that's done. And I've got to go. Yeah. I have to do this within the YouTube platform.
So you're typing and I'm talking with my hands.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. Thank you. Well done. And I need to also go. Got to do all these things, you see, because the algorithm wants it, so you have to do it.
Of course.
Let's go in there, and I've got to go. Bear me a moment. That can go. Let's do that. And we're on here. And I need to go, thank you. And all of that. And amazing. There we go. So I've got to go into 3 different platforms to do all the bits. Yeah. Thank you very much. Well done, Stace. Bless you. Very much appreciated. They have this egg timer thing.
Well played, Stacey girl. Well played.
Yeah. When you do a super chat, and it has like a countdown. I don't know quite how that works. Thanks so much. Yeah, done that, and that's fabulous. No, that's good. And I don't know how that works. It's like this little egg timer thing drops down. I don't know what I meant to do. Or maybe it's for everyone else to see. It's displayed. That super chat is displayed. But I get it. Exactly. Where have all the good times gone? Well, yes. Well, we'll try and bring them back. You see, this is
that's right.
The general thing. So, what is that? The bass that's coming out today? Is it?
No. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of running through the bits in standard tuning, and then tonight when we do the thing. So this is kind of funny in a way because it actually is all of Applehead minus the guitar player.
Right.
So it's literally the 3 of us,
but
other than the guitar player. Right. So right, we're just going to go out and do these, it's going to be Firewoman and Little Devil and Love Removal Machine. And maybe Wildflower if they want one more. But,
okay.
So like I said, I've been sitting here just kind of going, okay, I don't usually play that simple, but we'll come up with something.
I know.
Right.
I know.
So
I've done She Sells Sanctuary a million times. And it's like
indeed.
That can last 6 minutes plus.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you space it out, because if you actually put a guitar solo in the middle, it can run for 10.
Yeah. Well, it's just you can literally, you've got to prepare something in advance. Very hard to just do it on the fly with that one because you can end up going down all sorts of rabbit holes. So
well, I mean, you're basically you could run in the key of D or in the key of G and get away with it either way.
Exactly, but it will always throw the singer. The singer will be like, "Well, where am I? Where?" It doesn't matter. It's all this. As long as you count 4 beats to the bar, you'll be fine.
Come in on the 1, everything's fine.
That's exactly it.
There it is. So no, but this I've got this in standard tuning. The Attitude is going to roll out with me tonight.
Okay.
Because it's all of Applehead minus the guitar players. Greg, the singer, likes everything half step down.
Oh, okay.
So we'll play these half step down, give it a little more grunt. So I'll bust out the monster.
Will you use your detuner for that?
Well, actually, if I could drop down, but I've got everything. I leave that guitar set at tuned in E flat standard.
Right, fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah,
very good. George, good to see you.
George
all the way
is here
from Australia.
Good on, mate. Well done.
Very good. Okay, well, you tell me when you need to blast because you've got work to do. So
right, I'll jump off in a few. I've got a few minutes. I'm going to pop in when I can. Today's just kind of been.
That's okay.
Today's been a little bit of an adventure. So we've got bass in hand.
Yeah.
And
do you want to give us a quick run round what the sounds on that, because a lot of people will be looking at it going, I don't know what this is and what is
sure.
it?
So this is, let me move this real quick. Okay, so what this is the Yamaha, like the version of the BB bass. So it has their style pickups for the BBs with the rings and all that around them. And
sorry, I'm just trying to move it so you're the main screen. Just bear with me a minute.
I got you. No worries.
Okay.
So that one worked.
It's got to be that.
That's okay. So it has the BB style precision pickup, and then this crazy thing, which is also in the Attitude, but this one's different because the blades are raised.
Yeah.
So it goes with the radius. As far as controls, it's literally 2 volumes and a tone. So I can roll this up, and I have all the beef and woof that comes from here. Obviously, this one and the tone actually works them all. And then I've got a nice little poppy for giving it a little extra something.
Right. So the tone control, I see on the Attitudes, that's just doing the P pickup, not the woof.
Right. So this one's not. This one's more standard.
Tone?
This one's more standard. So they just wired it up kind of normal, almost jazz bass, except that the tone pot has a push pull.
And what does that do?
It basically it's a capacitor in the tone circuit, so you can get a little. So
because it's a mono bass, not stereo bass,
right?
As per the Attitudes, right?
Right. Because these are both fully functional. If I turn this on, this is always on. If I do the other one, this is on. So I can control with these 2 volumes. So it's not like the Attitude in that regard. So I think this was their attempt at some point to, I don't know, kind of recreate his pink one on the fly, because his pink one is actually a neck through.
That's right.
And the neck is incredibly small. And of course, it's got the bent headstock, whereas this one
small in what? Neck width.
So neck width, nut width, all this. It literally feels like a kind of like a late 70s, like a U-shaped jazz bass neck.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kind of bulky in the back, but very skinny at the nut.
Because at the time, that's what the standard was for that model. It wasn't a Billy Sheehan signature. Mm-mm. It was a bass that he decided to hook up with Yamaha, and they went, here, have a bass. And that's what he got. And then from that created the blueprint for what became the Attitude.
Yeah, and ironically, that's a 24 fret bass. That the only other person I've ever seen play one was Louis Johnson. There's a clip from Tokyo. He was playing a red one, and he was pulling the string off so hard the string started to go out of tune and then broke.
We've all been there.
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I mean, that's what this thing is. And the crazy thing about this is back in the 80s, I recall people saying that the BB basses were Fender killers because you could make that precision sound or PJ sound, and you didn't need to purchase a Fender. And they were right. This sounds dead on, especially if I run with a plectrum, a pick. If I want to do that, I can literally recreate that sound from a precision.
Yeah.
So I don't use a pick. That's why we have fingers. But if you do, great. I just don't. And I can get that exact sound.
Yeah.
So that's this one. But this one doesn't come out much. This one I use primarily for recording. And if I'm just sitting about, tootling around.
Noodling about.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This works wonders for that. So it doesn't have a mark or a ding or anything on it. So
it's lovely color. Lovely.
Yamaha's made 3. Billy has the other 2.
Wow. Okay.
He's got the other 2. That's why I have this one.
Ah.
So this one has been kitty cat approved.
I saw that.
Yeah. So
Very
that would
good.
be spooky.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. No longer with us, sadly.
Nope. Nope.
No.
Spooky's new relatives have taken over.
They have.
Yes.
They have. I've seen a few posts up on his Facebook page. So good.
Yeah. So
It's lovely,
yes.
lovely tone on that.
Yeah, I mean, it speaks. I mean, because I've got it plugged into the DAW, but I don't have it obviously running through to where you can hear it. But it's pretty loud as an acoustic instrument.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that gets louder is the the bowling ball monster.
Yes. So. Well,
that speaks enough right there.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, have you changed your mind on that yellow JD on Bass Brothers?
You know what's funny?
I love to throw you a curveball.
You do. Well, I've actually asked them to make a video of it, and they've made a video of every other bass but that one, the number 2 JD. I've been waiting for it because I know where it came from. I know who had it, and I know a little bit about it. But I mean, if somebody's going to come up with $5,000, cheers.
Yeah.
I mean, because that one weighs a few stone. So
it's not the same yellow one you had.
No. The
okay.
The yellow one I had was a roadie, and it was actually really nice. I got it from a guy. I got it from a guy that I had spoken with in UK, and then when I came across the pond to play in Ireland some years back, a friend of mine, ironically in Scotland, went and grabbed it, and I brought him a Rickenbacker. And so, poof.
You don't get many of them in the airport duty free, so yeah.
Well,
You're bringing me a Rickenbacker, eh?
When in doubt, just come with a Rickenbacker, So, but I mean, that's what I did. So I took him a Rickenbacker because I was playing. I had that, and at the time, I had also brought another. I had brought that Bluesman for our friend.
Yes.
That was that time.
Have you spoken to her yet about that?
I have not. She hasn't reached out. I can.
I suggest you send her a message because I keep getting the messages.
Okay.
And I think someone really wants to buy it. But she needs to know what the history on it is because you told me about it, but it's like I don't know the full ins and outs and I don't know what it's worth. So
let me see. Let me look real fast. Let me see if I sent her a message. I may have sent her a message. Let me look. Here we go. No, I did not. Okay, let's go find our picture of our little mate, and we'll send that along to her so I can tell her that she can check in, and I'll explain the whole thing to her. Yeah.
Because I suddenly, when she mentioned it to me, and I was like, that's the bass you bought for him. So that
I had it built for him, actually.
Yes, yeah.
Right, I had it built for him. Let me find it, see if I've got it here somewhere.
Bill Derbyshire, it'd be interesting to know what everyone's go-to noodling bass is. Good point, Bill. Like it. I'll put it up. Let me just stick that up as a banner.
Everyone's go-to noodling bass. Oh, that's fun. That's a good one.
I don't even think I've got one. I think what's nearest to hand.
Right. What's closest? What's nearby that I can put my hands on real quick? Because I've got them all, like you have got them all on both sides of me here. Yeah.
Let us know. What's your go-to noodling bass?
Yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, I never thought I'd actually say when I was a kid that I'd say an alembic was my go-to noodling bass, but for a while, one of them was. It'd be like, oh, that's on the stand, right? We'll have that. And,
well, I can say for years and years, my noodling bass was a Rick.
Well, you had 175, so
yeah, I had a bazillion of them. So
Bill Derbyshire, yours is an NS Design WAV radius bass. I
played them.
We didn't have one for review at the Mat, or if we did, I didn't do the review. Tell me all about that bass, Bill, because they intrigue me. Every time I look at one, I think, And I can have a word with Barry at the Bass Centre if I want to try one. But
Right.
I've never played one. I think the Bass Centre, how could we? Bass
Hello.
Direct, yeah. Bass Direct had some there when we were doing the review days. And unfortunately, Joel, I think that's why we'd had one for a review and someone else did it. And I said to Joel, do you want me to do that? And I think he already said, well, no, we've done it. So I've not played one. I don't know whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. It's an NS design. I don't expect it to be too shabby.
It's a unique
Dawson,
instrument.
yeah. Dawson, when I go to the music store, I take a rip on the Thunderbirds. You do like those, don't you? You got a soft spot for the Gibson Thunderbirds, young man.
Get you a little Wishbone Ash going.
That's it.
Little Martin Turner.
Yeah. Well, you know I know Bob Skeet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
lovely.
Okay.
Lovely. Lovely.
So if ever he's passing your way and you want to go, just tell me and I'll message Bob.
If he comes across the pond, that will be an adventure.
Well, they do. They spend half their year in the States every year.
I had a word with Martin. I had a word with Martin because one of the ricks that I have here, he told me he was going to come across the pond and take it home with him. Because the one rick that he used on the first couple of records, including Argus, was a 21 fret. And those were only made for a year, and he said he deeply regrets shifting it. And the one I have here is actually a 21 fret.
Okay.
So we had a lovely conversation, he and I. Told me we kind of went back into the history of Wishbone Ash quite a bit.
Well, so I've known Bob since 1996, and I think he joined Wishbone Ash in 97.
Mm-hmm.
And it was him joining that band that led to me doing all the depping work for him, that then led to me, meeting the people who I now work with when I do the ABBA stuff, but also it led to me meeting the guys that I did my Very Busy Covers band with.
Yeah.
So it was through Bob. So, if Bob's ever over your way and you want to go and see Wishbone Ash, let me know and I can sort of open the doors to make that happen. So
sure enough, that'd be great. Good. Yeah.
Bill Derbyshire, the NS Design WAV Radius bass, they are great, light, very comfortable and balanced. What's the tone like? Are they really kind of woody or do they sound a bit more clinical?
I tried a fretless one and I could make it sound like an upright if I really tried.
Right, because it runs on a piezo, doesn't it?
That one does, yeah, but they also come with pickups. They've got pickups and the thing in the bridge.
Okay.
So you can, at least the one I tried, because I had an NS thing for a moment because I had one of the little, what I call the upright stick.
Yeah.
And I ended up giving it to Master Sheehan. He's got it. As I do, he's got it now.
Okay.
So.
The WAV, I've got a WAV 4 here. It doesn't tell me anything about the electronics. That's good. Okay, I'll check it out on the Bass Centre site later.
Yeah. Be worth a Bosch.
Yeah, I think Bagiti Kamalu was using them for a while. He was kind of like the face of getting them out there. But again, he's one of these guys. He loves an endorsement deal. He loves a few quid in his pocket, and he jumps from one instrument to the next, to the next, to the next. And whenever he says, "This is the best bass I've ever played in my life," I always think, "It's not, though, is it?" It's not.
Till tomorrow. Till tomorrow.
Yeah, until tomorrow, and someone else comes to call him with a fat check. But there we are. There we are. We've all got to earn a few bob, but.
Two bob. Yes.
That's it. That's it.
Yep. Suddenly I'm thinking John Cleese again all of a sudden.
So, yes, we're still waiting on this date for the Nick Smith commemorative memorial show.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess they're still waiting on there won't be any change than there was on last week. So it's waiting for some other people and a choice of venue to be decided and confirmed, and then it'll go from there, I guess.
I guess depending on what date they actually settle on, I will probably come that way, and then either before or right after, I'll be coming back to Florida to play a show. So,
yeah. So I think you're going to need to book in. So it's likely that that's going to be on the Sunday. So you really need to be getting here on like the Thursday, I think, if you want to try and fit everything in that you want to do.
Right, and then jump out on the Monday.
Yeah, get an early flight out. So if we're both on that, if we both do that show, sorry, this is where Brooks' Bass Corner live chat just becomes a private conversation between me and Jamie.
We natter.
So if we both do that show, then what I suggest is, and again, we don't know how late it's going to run or whatever. It's either going to be, I would suggest, well, and it depends what time your flight is. Your flight could be the red eye, in which case you just get in the car with me and I'll bring you back from Peterborough and drop
that
you
works.
at the
And just drop me off at Heathrow and off we go.
You're already, well, what we'll do is we'll go to a restaurant and have an early breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
We'll go to a diner or something and we'll do that. And then I'll drop you at the airport. So you got a couple of hours to check in and do your thing.
That works.
That's what we'll do.
Yeah.
Once we get the dates, then we can start planning. And also what we'll do is I'll do an announcement on the channel and on the socials and stuff. So if we're going to have a bass players get together, whether it's
yes, we are with a curry. We're going to have a curry, right?
We'll do all that, but until we've got those dates, we can't announce anything. So
right.
Cool. Patrick Sweeney, evening, and everyone else, happy birthday!
Cheers, Patrick.
You, bless your heart. You're looking well on it. I don't feel it. my knees would tell you different. But I can highly recommend turmeric capsules. So about a year ago, all sorts of little niggles and pains, and you're thinking it's not right. Shouldn't be feeling like this. And take the turmeric, and it works wonders. So my dad is 78. He's got some pain in his knees and didn't really want knee operations and all that. I said, are you taking anything? No. Oh, it's only a bit of knee pain. I said, are you taking anything? No. I said, right, get some turmeric capsules, 1 a day. I said, by 5 days, the pain will be gone. Oh, I'm sure that's not. I said, right, I'm just ordering them. They're arriving tomorrow. Start taking them. By Sunday, pain's all gone. Amazing that. How could that possibly happen? I said, well, there you go. He said, well, I don't want to be on these for the rest of my life. I said, mate, it's literally like 5 pence a capsule. I'll buy them for you. Don't worry about it. Just keep taking them. So, yeah. Yep. Richard Evans, good to see you. You're a stranger around these parts, but good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Thanks for jumping onto the live chat. Good to see you. Welcome. So, looking well on it. I'll take, well, here we go. Right. So we did an Uncle Funk show, not Saturday, just gone, the Saturday before. And I'm sat next to the trumpet player, and she's known me since 2020. Now, she knew I had my 50th birthday 3 years ago. She knew that at the time. But clearly, the brain has gone to mush, because she sat next to me. She goes, how old are you on your birthday? I said, you know how old I am. What are you asking me that for? She said, I don't. How old are you? I said, come on, Rosie, you know. I had a fairly significant birthday like 3 years ago. What, 40? I went, how old do you think I am? She said, I thought you were about 45. I said, I'll take that. What are you drinking? What do you want? She said, well, are you 45? I said, no. She said, well, how old are you? I said, 53. Or I'm coming up to 53. I am now 53.
You are now 53.
She said, no, you're in your 40s. You can't. I said, look at the face. Look at the hands. I said, I'm 53. All right. That's the way it is. Don't milk it, love. And we'll leave it there. So I thought, I'll take that. That's good. Someone I work with on a weekly basis didn't actually realise I was in the 50s. I'll have that. Thanks. So
there you go.
There you go. I'll take that. And then I look at some people who I was at school with who are like 53, 54, a couple who are younger. And Jesus Christ, they've had hard lives.
Well, you show it in your face a lot of times. If you live light, if you live hard.
I tell you what, bass players, we do well. We do well.
Yep.
We don't have all the stresses and... don't buy teeth from catalogs, kids.
No. Tesco. Those are Tesco teeth, right? Is that right?
Yeah. We don't have the stresses and strains that guitarists have. So there we are. Patrick, age is an attitude.
Yes.
I'll tell my knees that in the morning. No, you're right, Patrick. But I think doing this for a living, keeping yourself out of stressful band situations. If there's band politics, just take yourself out of it. Don't get involved in it. Because since I removed myself from a lot of that crap and cobblers of running bands and trying to get people in the right place and got to do this, got to do that, dealing with clients, now that I just turn up and play and go, everything is a lot easier. And the stresses and strains aren't there. Although I had a stress and strain today where a gig I did a while back still haven't been paid because the agent was being a dick. And I had to chase up a band for payment 7 weeks after a gig, which I haven't had to do, and I hate doing it. But I had to give them a little knock on the phone and say, guys, have you been paid? Because I've got bills to pay in 2 days and I'm still waiting on that. And actually I had quite a large sum of money around all the different bands that I play with. And until it came in, next month's bills were looking a bit dodgy. But anyway, we've sorted that now. Richard Fitton Perkins, good to see you. Hope you're well. Looking good. Bill Derbyshire, the sound... here we go. The sound is very good with the EMG magnetic pickup. Yep. And the bridge piezo. The range is very workable. You have gig with it. Okay, cool. And it weighs good. Balance is good. Doesn't do a Warwick Bootsy Collins space-based number on you.
Doesn't do a space-based crash.
So that will be going in the workshop, hopefully before Friday, for me to try and remedy that. Richard Evans, I'm 53, just a lad. You're 56 tomorrow. Happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday,
you share
dear,
your
sir,
birthday. Yes, indeed. You share your birthday with Walter in a lat, who we were talking about at the top of the live chat. So Stephen Pete. No, in fact, I sent a message to Mr. Overland yesterday, which is the first message we've relayed in nearly 2 years. Time is kicking on, but he wasn't aware that Walter was ill, so it's only right that I let him know. And he's going to contact Walter tomorrow and give him a call on his birthday, as I will be doing as well. So, yeah, all good. All good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
We're all in the same range.
That's it. We're in that corridor.
Right.
That corridor of musical experience and boyish good looks, you know.
And pink bases and JDs everywhere and all that sort of thing.
Only the one. Only the one.
For now.
Only the one. For now, no. One's enough of those. One's enough. And in fact, I'm penned in today. Actually, no, I've got room that way. So normally when we're doing the live chats, I can get to all the bases. I can't, because everything's been rearranged in here so that the guy coming to do the broadband upgrade could get to where he needed to get to. Right. So we were told where all your hub and everything is now, make sure that's easily accessible, which I did. And then when the guy turned up, he said, oh no, I need the other wall. So I had 2 racks of basses to shift. So our lounge at the moment looks like
Bass Central.
It looks like the trash compactor from Death Star in Star Wars. It's like that, just bits hanging all over the place. But it's all good. Bill Derbyshire, it's the most comfortable bass to play that I have. Oh, interesting. Which is probably why it's my go-to noodling bass. Yeah. I used to... I've got an Ibanez 2017 semi-acoustic fretless here, which has got flat wounds. So this is one of my go-to noodling basses. So it's meant to be, it's meant to be the Dragon Eye finish, but unfortunately, very few of them actually look like the Dragon Eye finish that was advertised. Most of them got this like sunburst, tobacco sunburst, not the Dragon Eye. But anyway, it plays great, sounds great. Piezo pickup in the bridge, flat wounds, volume and tone, lovely. I've actually done covers band gigs with this. The tone was fab, really good. So if anyone's out there looking for a reasonably cheap, easy to play, value for money, semi-acoustic bass, you need to be looking at one of these. They're great.
There you go.
Everything that's good about an Ibanez, and they're not expensive. You can get them second hand. I've seen them go for 350, 400. Really nice. And every string has an individual volume. There. See, that's the way the piezo works. Batteries in there, of course. And it's great. I think I've taken the battery out, actually, haven't I? No, it's in there, still in there. But great, really nice bases. So if you're looking for a cheap noodling at home bass, or a fretless, if you want to get your fretless thing going, check it out.
Cool stuff.
So there are a couple of other basses still at Mr. Smith's. So I don't know if there's anything else in there that you want to check out. There's a hefty amount of Trace Elliott amplification. Like
that does not surprise me at all.
And I don't get why he was stockpiling it, because he wasn't going to use it anymore. His back was like most of us who've done the rounds. It was shot to crap. So I have no idea why he was stockpiling all that, unless he thought, I'll stockpile it and then it's going to go up in value and I'll make a load of money.
No, there are people who are collecting them. At this point, there are people who are collecting Trace Elliott.
They are, but they're not expensive. This is the thing.
No,
And for the point that we've discussed before when Joe Goose was on, in that they're getting old and the components are going. So if you're going to buy a Trace Elliott head and you think, or an amp or a speaker, and you think, oh, it's a bargain, 200 quid, you better factor in another 200 to 400 to cover the repair bills, because a lot of these, you buy them, you go and check them out, they're playing fine, you buy it, you go out, you start gigging it, and the puff of blue smoke appears.
Yep.
You've got to be prepared for it. They're 40-year-old amps.
Yes, indeed. It's like taking an old bass out. Same idea, only you don't have a puff of smoke. It just kind of goes, and it's like, oh, it's dead.
That's it. Bill, you've sent me a picture. Is that on Facebook? Can you send it to the email address that's running at the bottom of the screen? Trying to go in and out of Messenger and Facebook when I'm on the live chat can be a little tricky. If you can, that would be fab.
He says he sent an awful picture. I can't define an awful picture. There's no such thing unless you're completely doing something, you know.
That's all right. Yes, you can all send me pictures if you wish, just nothing rude, of course.
Right, because Richard says he's got a pink burst bass. I think we need to see that as well.
Yeah, well, he's a big Twisted Sister fan, I think.
You can't stop rock and roll.
Remind me, Richard. Yeah, I think he's a big Twisted Sister fan, as I recall, and he had a thing. Actually, is the pink burst the G&L? I think he's got a G&L pink burst.
That would make sense, because Mark the Animal Mendoza was playing G&L a lot these days, especially.
That's probably it then.
Yeah. Right.
Pictures, Richard, pictures. So Richard and I met, God, now that's going back, 14 years ago, when me and my old covers band, we were doing a 3-piece covers gig in a pub called the William Blake up near Old Street. And at the time, I was booking the bands for the venue. And that was our... we only did 2 gigs there before they pulled the bands. I think I got about 10.
10 quid.
Well, the guy, well, no, I got more than that. The guy who was there when I went for the initial meeting then left to become a scuba instructor in Thailand.
That's a switch.
Guy who took over, so he basically got me to book 6 months of gigs. Actually, no, it was 8 months. It was April to December. And he left at the start of the October 2011, and the manager that came in after him, because also the what's the word? Not the landlord, the company that owns the brewery, sold their venue to another brewery. So the new brewery came in. This was the new manager. He sat me down. He said, "I don't want bands. This is going to be a gastro pub. So after next week's band, cancel all the others." I said, "Really? That's like 3.5 months worth of bands." He said, "We're not having music, so forget it. Just cancel it." So we only ever did 2 gigs. But anyway, Richard came in to see us do this covers gig, and that was it. That was 14 years ago, 2011.
Okay. Well, hopefully Richard likes curry and he can jump in with us.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, he lives up in Northumberland near Newcastle.
Right.
So quite a few. He's opposite end of England.
Well, you know, I keep hearing that Brahmas were all
buy that bass, don't you? Here we go. He's a massive Twisted Sister fan.
There it is.
G&L, see, because of Mark Mendoza. Pink Burst is an Epiphone Thunderbird, played at the TS gig I attended at this theatre in New York City. There you go.
Okay.
There's the story.
There it is.
So he's also a fan of the guys I used to work with. So they have a band called FM. So he came down knowing that we had the covers band, and he was in London, and there we are. There we are.
Yeah.
There you go. So his bass is signed by the whole band,
including AJ Pero, which is great because he passed away some years back as the drummer of Twisted Sister. I met him. I met him in 1987 at a NAMM show in Chicago. AJ Pero. Yeah.
Okay. Right, there's Bill Derbyshire with his picture. Right, so I am going to save that. Bear with me a moment, and that's going into Ollie Dream Pics. Very good. And then I can share it out to you fine people. No, wrong folder, you dope. It's that one. And that is... There we go. Bill, you're about to become famous.
Instantly.
I hope. There you go. I'll get rid of the banners so we can all see you doing your thing. So I need to hide that. We need to hide that. There you go.
There you go.
Bill. Do you know what? On that sort of picture, it doesn't look too dissimilar in the way it sort of sits and balances to a Kubicki. Just without the long horn. Yeah, kind of. It's probably a bit longer than the top horn on it.
I think so. On the versus the Kubicki, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Very good, Bill.
Excellent. There you go. Cheers on that. Yep.
There we go. Yeah. Very nice. Very
good stuff. Good stuff.
So you got gigs coming up this weekend?
I'm waiting on one to confirm.
Okay.
So that'll be a hard rock show. And I've already got a set list of 15 songs that are all originals from the guy.
Oh, crikey. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So kind of been wheedling through those a wee bit just to kind of get familiar. They're not hard songs, which means I can tap dance like a hairdresser through them.
People have paid good money to see that.
That's right. That's right.
Richard Evans, how do you send a picture? At the bottom of this live chat, running along the ticker on the bottom of the screen, it'll say email brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. That's how you send me the picture. Email it to me, and I'll present it on screen so everyone can see your finest poses with your bass.
That's right. Oh, yes.
Just checking. No, that's all good. Anyone that wanted to know the football? Arsenal are 1-1 with PSG. Second half has started. Let's just check. Well, you got to do these things. You got to keep people up to date, you know.
Oh, yes.
Let me just check on the stream health. Everything's looking good. Yeah, stream health is excellent. That's good. I'm really sorry. I was hoping we were going to be on the super duper wordy whiz bang new fibre broadband tonight, but sadly BT completely bodged their job yesterday, and we're not. We're still on the same old that we were on before.
Well, that means next Tuesday will be a different adventure.
Well, not necessarily, because when I rang them yesterday, they said it could be up to 12 weeks to get this rectified. So, okay. Let me just go back into that email. Hold on. There we go. Someone sent something. Oh, no, that's... Sorry, it's YouTube being daft. Very good.
Yeah, it did me on that side as well.
Okay. Richard Evans, pick the bass up from JJ's apartment in Manhattan. Surreal. Yeah, that would definitely freak any of us out, I guess. It'd be like me going down to Mark King's and picking up one from him, which is very unlikely. Although I say that in 2017, the magazine, me and my editor, was supposed to go to Mark's house on the Isle of Wight and go through his entire bass collection that he had there and all the stuff he'd ever used. And it was that close. We had all the ferry tickets booked. Everything was happening. And then for some reason, the date we were going with the photographer, something came up. I think it was a Gizmodrome. They were doing the last overdubs on that. And so it all got cancelled. And then when I saw him and did an interview, He said, we are going to do that, aren't we? The bass collection to the video. I said, yeah. I said, but it needs you to say when we're doing it. I'll get onto it. We've never done it. So, and now the mag isn't a thing. It ain't going to happen. So,
speaking of Mark King, have you seen the little snippet that somebody posted from Japan that they're trying to sell the one only JD8 string?
I did. I saw that. Yeah.
This is the second time. This is the second time that somebody is trying to sell it.
It's very expensive. And
extremely.
You got to remember, Nick got the sizable sum he got because he sold it to someone who already has the bulk of Mark's X collection anyway. Right. I look back and I sold the 4-string Stingray for $3,000. But that was 23 years ago. Mark's star wasn't, and the band's star wasn't rising. That you've got to remember. The problem is people look at things how they are now, not how they were then. So in 2002, Mark didn't own the Level 42 name. He was still going out as Mark King Solo, Mark King Group, all that sort of thing. So back then, there weren't a lot of people that would want to buy ex-Mark King basses other than the deep-seated, deep-rooted fan base. And someone who I'd known years ago when I lived in Hampshire approached me and said, oh, I hear you've got one of Mark's old basses. I went, yeah. And he said, do you want to sell it? I said, well, it depends how much you're offering. And he offered me a price, and I thought, no. Because, okay, it's just a bog standard Stingray. I can go and buy another one. Little did I know, they're not all the same. And he offered me a price. I went, no. I said, you need to have a serious rethink. Give your head a wobble. And come back when you're serious. And he came back with another price. And so I then thought, he is serious. So I contacted Morgan because I thought, well, if I'm going to sell it to anyone, I want it to go into the vault. I want the guy who's got all the others to have it. And I said to Morgan, I said, look, I know you've got some of Mark's old basses. Would you be interested in buying the Stingray? And he went, oh, yes, absolutely. He said, why are you selling it? I said, because someone's asked me if I want to sell it. And I'll be perfectly honest, I don't want to sell it to him. But he's starting to talk figures that are seriously impressive. And I want to buy a new bass rig. I wanted to buy EBS and sell my Hartkey stuff. And that was, you're looking at 1,500 quid for the head.
Easy.
1,200 quid for the cabinet at the time. It was all brand new stuff.
Yep.
I said, even if I sell the Hartkey, I'm not going to get close, and I've got to come up with that cash somehow. I said, what would you offer? And he made me an offer, and I said, just go up a bit. And he did. He came in with one more offer, and I said, fine, done. Done. And that was it. And so I sold it to him. But now, had I kept that, because it was used on recordings, I'd probably get close to 10 grand. But it was a different time.
Right. Well, that's the thing.
So when Nick sold the, what's the number?
0002.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
When he sold that to
the Wembley base,
Morgan. Yeah, but he sold that long after. I think that was around 2004, 2005, maybe.
Okay.
Because he certainly had it when he turned pro.
Right.
And that would have been 2001, 2002. And he definitely kept it for a couple more years, but then he used the money to give himself that push as a self-employed musician. Right. So the fact he got 10 grand for that, I thought, well done.
Well, that's a special one. That's a special one because
by that point, Mark had regained the Level 42 name by blowing Mike Lindup out. So suddenly the Level 42 thing was snowballing again. So suddenly interest in JDs were kicking in, and that particular JD, because of what it was used on, became very collectible. So that string you're talking about, it's limited, and the fact that Mark had it for a little while, but he didn't, apart from a couple of clips on TV, I don't think he ever used it on record. Not that I've ever.
I don't believe. I think there may have been one song that it was used on, but the crazy thing about it is literally a one-off. And even Michael Diggins has told me there's a way that John Diggins had made the bridge, that crown that's sitting as the bridge, and he left the the drawings of it with all the measurements and such, because someone actually had ordered a bass not too long ago, sometime last year, and they put that tailpiece on, that bridge piece on, because someone had requested it. Thankfully, John kept the design of it, but it was only done one time.
Okay, yeah.
So it really is kind of a unique, but again, what do you do with an 8-string? I mean, some people love them, but I mean, I've got one sitting right there, and I never touch it because there's just, I don't know, there's no
unless
use
you
for
want
it.
it for a particular, exactly, or if you're in a prog band,
Right.
you know, it's the same as like using a 12-string. We did the Queen show the other night. We had a depth guitarist.
Yeah.
And thankfully, he bought a 12-string for when we did 39 and, oh my God, Love of My Life, which is that sound. You need a 12-string for doing it. But other than that, you know, that guitar probably comes out once per show with his band. And most Queen tributes now, unless you're doing a 2-hour theatre show, you aren't going to do Love of My Life because there's nowhere for it to fit in.
Right.
If you're doing a short, if you're doing 245s or 250s, you need the time to do the hits.
And if you're doing prog, you need one of these.
Well, there's that as well. So, but I suspect there aren't too many 8-strings of those. So
there's quite a few of those actually, because they made them those.
What am I talking about?
Yeah, you know, they made a bunch of those back in the late 80s. Although
70s.
Entwistle had the first couple of them. They call them potato head because the headstock was kind of weird to use the big pegs and then the little pegs, the tuners. And so it looks like a potato. It does this kind of thing. I kid you not. And so they made them in the early 70s, and that was at Entwistle's request. And there it is. You know, you can find, there's one photo, I think, if I remember right, that showed John's collection. He's standing there with his hands resting on a Series 1, and then either to the right or the left is the 8-string Rick.
Okay.
Because Chris Squire had one as well. He had the other one. There were two.
Well, you see, those are in the right hands because they would have put them to use on record, even if it's just one track.
Exactly, and that's how it was done. Novelty. Now, there's a guy called Vince Gallo who has Chris Squire's.
Greg Lake might have had one as well.
He could have. He had the Olympic. He had the Olympic 8-strings there. Right, those were Olympics. Yeah. But I mean,
I'm sure I've seen a photo of him. Whether he used it or not, I don't know. But I've seen a photo of him with an 8-string Rick.
Well, later in the 80s, when they made them, they used the Rick headstock with the cresting wave on the end, and it had 8 tuners. It's about that long.
Yeah.
You know, because you had to fit all that hardware on there.
Gareth Harrison, good to see you. Good to see you.
Hello, Gareth.
There's a bunch of messages here. Richard Fitton, have you tried a Quartz Space Bass 4 yet? No, I haven't. I haven't been in any bass stores for... Cool, blimey.
No, a while.
The bass gallery. Yeah, I haven't been out. I've been... although I'm hoping I'm going to pop into Bass Direct and Bass Brothers potentially end of next week. So I've got a gig where I'm going up the M40 towards Birmingham.
So if you're going up to Bass Brothers, you have to put your hands on the actual JD number 2.
Well, if it's there, then fabulous.
It's $5,000. It's going to be sitting there.
Yeah, well, you say these things.
I think
$7,000 Alembics, $7,000 Alembics shift out of that place. So,
well, there's that. Yeah. But I mean, I've asked them for a video. I'm just waiting. So
okay, Richard, you picked Quartz Space Bass up in a trade yesterday. It's very good, cheap status substitute. I've heard good things about those. I have. Well, good. Let me know. By all means, give us your feedback. Let us know a bit more. What's the EQ like? How does it play? What's the balance? Gareth was offered a Dean 12-string last year, but I passed on it as I wouldn't use it. Well, you've put as I would use it. I suspect you mean you wouldn't. These things are sent to try us.
Right.
Yeah, I've been offered all sorts of exotica in the past, and then when you break it down, you think, well, am I actually going to use it, or is it? Nick was a perfect example. He would buy double necks that weighed a ton, and then it would just sit in its case. It wouldn't get used, and then he'd think, I might as well get rid of that because there's something else I want.
Right.
Sometimes these things work. You know, if you've got a double neck wall,
Yep.
Teeth, you said.
Wall, we got it. It's okay.
Wall is what it is because it's half of Waller,
Yes.
of course. So if you ended up with a double neck wall, you were quids in. If you got a double neck, we'll take your pick. Let's pick something that ain't worth all that much. So, you know, like a double neck Harley Benton, it's not going to appreciate all that much, you know. So a Dean 12 string, yeah, unless you're going to make use of it, you're not going to use it down the dog and pudding on a Sunday. You know, it's just not that sort of thing. Richard, space 4 and 5 EQ is very good, but the bass frequency is a little lacking. Okay, so you need to run it quite boosted. I like a bit of boosted bass, don't you worry.
Don't we all?
Overall output, if it suits you, madam. Overall output is about the same as a good passive jazz bass, as it's only 9 volts. Okay, cool. So how did you pick that up in a trade? What were you trading? Or was it that and another bass for what you were shifting on? Jeremy by Pearl Jam's played in a 20. 12-string guitars is one thing, 12-string bass is another. There's a lot of King's X stuff.
Very much
he did a lot, didn't he, with 12-string?
He did, and then the Galactic Cowboys also had 8 and 12 string. But then, of course, we go back to Cheap Trick.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. We've got your Pink Burst bass here, Richard. Hold on.
Shall we go?
Look at this.
Let's have a go.
I think this is going to be right up your street, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Right. Okay. Let's just save these.
In France, it'd be Rue de la Pink. Yes, got it.
Pomme de terre, Rodney. Pomme de terre.
Or pommes frites.
That's it. Quelle surprise le derrière.
Non merci, je n'ai pas faim.
I don't speak French. I'm just doing only Paul's and Horses impression. Yeah.
No, I can speak French.
Le rouge fromage, indeed. Yes. Right.
I speak French, so you got to be careful with that one.
Right, here we go. Right, let me shut that. We can present your pictures. Here we go. Image files. So there's 3 of these. So this is going to be right up your street, isn't it?
You know it is.
Right, incoming.
Oh, look at that.
Let me get rid of the banner. We're in a chat, aren't we? Hold on. There we go.
Okay, so
that'll be they
painted the bass just like J.J. French's Les Paul.
I guess so.
Ah, lovely. Well done, man.
Yeah,
well
to go
done.
with that picture. Yeah.
And you got the bullseye from Eddie's guitar. Yeah. Well done, lad. Well done.
But it doesn't. The pinkness doesn't stop there.
Of course not.
Incoming.
All right. Of course.
That's your cup of tea.
Oh, yeah.
You wake up and see those sort of things, don't you?
I've had people make me things like that, so yes, I do.
That's what we like. That's what we like to hear.
Oh, trust me, I've had people send me photos of cars, guitars. I had the original Star Trek Enterprise that someone had done in pink and sent it to me.
Blimey.
Yeah, so it's just, we equate with the color, so,
Mm-hmm.
We've even got a wah, a pinky and roll. That's perfect, man. That's great.
He'll be on the phone later, Richard, offering you stupid amounts of money.
Well, it just means when we go to have a curry bosh, all this has to come with him. Yeah,
that's right. Exactly. We've had some new subscribers while we've been doing the live chat. So if you are watching and you've just joined, just subscribe. Thank you for joining the bus. Hope you find some videos and content here on the channel that you find helpful and useful,
and a whole bunch of adventure.
Oh, there's plenty of that.
Indeed.
Richard, I've mistakenly sold a Space 5 and had a nice bits of jazz with EMGs. A mate of mine had an almost brand new Space 4 and we did the deal. Fair enough.
There you go.
Space basses are great for a spare bass in the boot of the car. Light, portable, great sounding, and ultra fast necks with the 7-piece laminate roasted fingerboard. Excellent stuff. That's what I like to hear. Good. Richard Evans, always stay in one of our holiday cottages. There you go. You see, open invitation. We have friendly people here on
pink bases and curry and all kinds of fun stuff. There you go.
Exactly that. exactly that.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, actually. I'm actually looking forward to a lot of that to come over so we can all have a blush.
It's a long old drive up to Northumberland, I can tell you.
Well, you know, I understand. It's all good, though. But I tell you what, I must jump.
Okay, my man.
I've got to start getting ready for the gig.
Yes, enjoy. Have a good one.
You too. Cheers, all of you. Great seeing you all, hearing you all.
We'll see you soon.
Soon time.
All the best, mate. Take it
Cheers.
easy.
See ya.
See ya. Bye-bye. I need to come back there, and then we've got to do that, and that's got to come off. Good. There we go. Gareth Harrison, shame to hear about the passing of Mike Peters today. Yes, indeed. I know his drummer, I know his drummer, Steve Barnard, Smiley. I've followed their adventures on Facebook for about the past 10 years. I worked with Smiley on a Robbie Williams tribute gig back in 2011. And I got the call at about 11 o'clock at night, the night before the gig. And for whatever reason, their bass player couldn't do the next day. And I accepted the gig and then got up at 6 o'clock in the morning to learn the set. And I met Smiley. I'd never met him before. Really great drummer. Lovely guy. We got on like a house on fire, but we actually haven't worked together, I think, since, now there's a question. 2012, I think, was the last time we did a gig together. He used to run like a little covers thing that would do weddings and functions and rugby clubs and stuff when he wasn't out on tour. And that was the last time I saw him, but we keep in touch. And he was the drummer for Mike and the Alarm and all the stuff they were doing. And when Mike got seriously ill about 2 years ago or so, obviously the touring had to stop. And I contacted Smiley today, so I'm so sorry. So sorry. And yeah. Yes. But he'd been fighting blood cancer, I think, for about 30 years. I mean, God, the guy gave it his all, clearly. Just a shame. Just a shame. But yeah. As I always say, isn't that right, Stacey? If your heroes and the bands you like and the performers you like come round, go and see them, because you never know when it will be the last time. You saw him when he played with Big Country. Yes, there was that sort of cross-pollination thing, wasn't there? Yeah. One of those days. He died yesterday on my birthday. So, yeah. And there's going to be a lot more of it. You know, we're getting into that corridor where a lot of the 70s performers are getting into their 70s. And, yeah, there's going to be a lot of, it's going to be like 2015 all over again. 2016, sorry. 2015 and 2016 was the big passing away. I gave you a score earlier for Arsenal PSG. I said it was 1-1. Looks like the Arsenal goal was disallowed, so it's 1-0 to PSG at the moment, if you're that way inclined. That's all good. It's all working. That looks fine too. So it's all good. So we've had like a whole load of new subscribers over the past week. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares. I keep knocking that hard case. It's propped up against the boom stand. I apologise. Let's just put that back there. Out of the way. There we go. So yes, thank you for all the likes, all the comments, all the shares over the past week. It's all going rather well. I'm about to hit 700,000 views since this channel started. So if you've watched anything on this channel, so if you're not a regular and you're just sort of finding this live chat for the first time, thank you is all I can say. I put the content up. What happens to it after that is out of my hands. So if you enjoy what we do, you enjoy the videos, enjoy the live chats, all of that, thank you very much. Thank you for getting involved. Thank you for coming back week after week after week. I really appreciate it. So channel's doing great at the moment. The analytics are great. Last week was the first time, in fact, I can't remember which day it was. Might have been Thursday or Friday, was the first time the channel hit 30 and a half, so 30 and a half thousand views in one day, which I was quite pleased with. I thought that was rather good. So thank you very much. I really, like I say, I can't do it without you. So thank you for that. That was outstanding. Granted, it was due to a couple of shorts sort of mounting up momentum over a few days. So they were remix shorts from the gig vlog from last week for the Queen show down in Poole in Dorset. But that went rather well. So I've got to try and replicate that now. So I'm working on Gig Vlog 7 and I've got a couple of review and demo videos in the pot. So I'm just keeping an eye on the analytics to see what those suggest I put up next. So we will see. Keep your eyes posted on the channel. So I'm hoping to put Gig Vlog 7 up tomorrow. And then maybe it will be a demo or a bass review on Friday. Patrick Sweeney, such a shame about Mike Peters. Yeah, the 68 guns have fallen silent. Quite. And sadly, and I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here, his wife has got cancer as well. She was in the band that they were doing through the 2010s and early 2020s. And I think she's got cancer as well. So it's a big shame. Gareth Harrison, bought a Hercules tablet holder this week. They're good, aren't they? I've got one of those. You can put your mobile in it as well for filming gigs. I use mine regularly. So as I said at the start of this, I did a Queen tribute show on Friday in Bishop Stortford at South Mill Arts Centre, and I set a camera up on one side and the drummer did one the other, and I've got both feeds. So there's some really good stage footage. So that will be, where's the schedule? That'll be Gig Vlog 14. So we're a little way back at the moment. So I'm putting up 7 tomorrow. So you'll have a little wait for that, but I'll try and work my way through those gig vlogs as quickly as I can. But 14 will be worth watching. It was a good show, really good show. But the camera work will be, well, we're not moving about. I haven't got someone moving, but there's 2 different views from either side of the stage. So I'll be able to do some decent visual mixing. Should be good. Yes, has anyone else bought any new gear this week? Anyone had any new purchases? Now that we're away from Christmas and New Year and credit card bills and all of that sort of thing, anyone bought anything? Obviously, I've got my new birthday bass here, but we've already disclosed that last week and this week. Patrick, I got one of those as well. Yeah, I use it to film some of our gigs. We take the mix sound from the desk. Excellent. I find it's really handy, like when I'm doing Uncle Funk shows, to set that tablet holder up, because where I was using my tablet for my IEM mix, we've now moved to a different system, and my tablet is too old to put the mixing software on that, so I have to do it on my phone. But once I've done that mix, I now use the tablet holder to hold the phone on the mic stand. So you're going to see this on some of the gigs. In fact, what's that? 7, 8, 9. I think Gig Vlog 9 will be the Supersonic Queen show that I did, where I filmed myself with the camera on the mic stand. So you'll see all that coming up. It's a different view of a gig, put it that way. So you're seeing me sort of tap dance across pedals and trying to do all my BVs as well. So it's a little cranky, but quite enjoyable. Kev Seabase, good to see you. Haven't seen you in ages. Thank you very much. Happy birthday. Much appreciated. Richard Evans, hedge trimmer. Does that count? Not unless you're going to play it. Can you get notes out of it? I don't know. Richard Fitton Perkins shyly raises his hand. Yes, Gareth, caught Space Base 4, and I'll be going up to Edinburgh on the train next Tuesday to pick up a Vintera 2 Mustang in that blue called Competition Burgundy. Well, well, well. Excellent. Safe travels, sir. I expect a progress report on your way back. Maybe you'll be on the train on the way back. You should come on live. Maybe. I keep getting told by my email software there's an email there, but there isn't. Not in that inbox, there isn't. DL42, good to see you too. Ella Buddy, hope yours as well. Got Sire V3 second generation last week. Excellent. Seeing as you were asking, we are asking. Excellent. How's it going? Was it set up well when you got it? Any problems? You and yours was what you were trying to say there. Very good. Yeah, how was that Sire straight out of the box? Ready to go? Or did you have to do some work on it and set up on it? Not quite decided what bass I'm taking to the request show on Friday. Trying to work out. I might take my Spector Euro 4, which is right here. Some of you have seen this before. Oh, yeah. Because the strings on this are going to get changed very shortly, and I might as well just completely batter them into submission before I change them. They haven't been changed since 2013, for God's sake. So there. Very nice blue, black and gold Euro 4 LX 2008 vintage, if you're into that sort of thing. But could do with a bit of a play. But this and the new acquisition are going on the workshop table very shortly for a restring and a setup and a clean up. But there we go. Very nice. Plays great, sounds great. I've been tempted to take it out on Uncle Funk shows on many occasions, and I actually did a couple of the rehearsals when we were in lockdown and we were doing the initial Uncle Funk rehearsals back in 2020. I did take that. I actually used that on a few rehearsals. Kev Seabase, I tend to be one of the skulkers. That's all right. That's all right. I don't mind if people watch this after the event. It's all good. It's all good. I did get that teal FPDV from Bass Chat. FPDV. FPDV? Are we talking Stingrays? FPDV. I'm baffled. You'll have to tell me what FPDV means. I will await your reply. Yeah, exactly. Richard's got the same FPDV. Gareth Harrison, heard good things about Sires, but also heard they have cheap hardware. Yep, you and me both. I've also heard of people changing out circuitry. Thank you. Fender Precision Deluxe 5-string. That's put the icing on the cake. Thank you. Yeah, I know people who've changed out the pickups and electronics and hardware, and then say they've got a great bass. Shouldn't really have to do that though, but that modding thing has always been there on cheaper instruments. So yeah, Jerry Blair, good to see you. Hope you're well. All good. DL, I've had a Fettel. I'm sure you have. You can get a cream for that, or you can get tablets of Boots. New strings. New bridge, etc. Plays very smoothly. I do have an M7 second generation, so I was confident it would be decent. Very good. Cool. Richard Evans, always enjoy dropping in. Got to go prep for cottage. No worries. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on. Happy birthday for tomorrow. See you at the next one, I hope. We're here every Tuesday, Richard. Until start of January, it'll be every Tuesday at 8 o'clock UK time. Take care. Have a good week. Enjoy your birthday tomorrow. God bless. Why did I say God bless? I never say that. Anyway, Stacey, there she is, Cobalt Blue Beauty. Yeah, I'm not sure what the official colour was. I think it was called Blue Black Figured Maple, because it's figured maple top on an alder body. Blue Black. So if it was quilted maple, it would be that, but it's figured maple. Yeah, we did that. Neil Lang, good to see you. Thank you for the birthday wishes, much appreciated. There's Kev's message about that. Richard, yeah, got it. I saw that one on Bass Chat. I missed that, but I'm not in buying mode, having just bought the Spectre, so that's cleared me out. Literally. But there we are. And also, to be fair, I'm running out of room. I've got very little room to put anything. I've got my eye on one thing, which might happen or might not, which I'm actually considering buying just for doing the videos on the channel. It could earn its price in money it earns through the videos I do if I buy it. We will see. We will see. Haven't committed to it yet. There's always room for one more, of course. Let's just check everything is going along okay. Here we go. You see all these shorts that I'm remixing off the long form videos are pushing my 48-hour view totals higher and higher. So at the moment I'm on about 3,500. The past few days I've been up around the 4,500 to 5,000 mark, which I've never had on the channel. So, you know, everyone who's watching the videos, enjoying what we're doing, give me thumbs up, comments. Thank you. It's the shorts are really helping, because they've also changed how the shorts views are calculated, and that's suddenly boosted everything, which is great, really helpful. That's good. That's all happening. Very good. So I regularly say here on the live chats, I'll say it again for those who don't know what I'm banging on about. The most important thing you can do for me, the channel, this video in particular, or any video here on the channel, if you're watching, if you could give the videos a thumbs up, it's the most important thing you can do. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're going to give it a thumbs down, then please leave a comment. Tell me what you don't enjoy, what you don't like. But if it's on this live chat or any of the other videos here on the channel, a thumbs up is the most important thing you can give what we do here on YouTube. Sharing the video out to social media, email, websites, that's all fabulous too. And leaving comments, it's so important. It helps to... The likes and the comments help to promote the video through the algorithm, and if the algorithm sees that people are enjoying what we do and the video's good, it latches onto it and presents it out to other viewers on YouTube. That's how you get the snowball effect, and suddenly momentum builds, and that's what we're aiming for. So I don't ask for people to subscribe to the channel, although if you wish to do so, that's fabulous and it really helps, but it's a vanity metric. So basically what I'm trying to do with my content here on Brooks's Bass Corner, generate likes, comments, shares. The subscriber numbers aren't so important because I'm not after sponsorship deals and all that sort of thing. If they come my way, then great, but it's not the be all and end all. Really, it's the views, the comments and the shares that are the most important thing. So if you've not already liked tonight's live chat, if you can help me, help the channel, help the video, please give it a thumbs up, and that'll be fabulous. And I'd really appreciate it. Dawson, do I have any Glenn Buxton, Alice Cooper memories? How old do you think I am? No, not at all. I've never seen Alice Cooper live. It's, I don't know, it's just, I can't say he's before my generation, because he's not, because he comes out of the same generation that Queen did. But Queen are my band. Alice Cooper I've never been to see. I think Nina Strauss is an amazing guitar player and fabulous to look at. But I've never been to see them. Now, Chris Childs from Thunder, they did a tour supporting Alice Cooper. just before COVID, I think. And I said to him, watch that guitarist. She's amazing. And he came back and went, yeah, she's rather good, isn't she? I said, yeah, just a bit. Glenn Buxton, I don't know of really. Sorry, Dennis Dunaway, I know of. And he's a rather good bass player. But I don't have any memories of him. I've never really followed either Alice as an artist or Dennis as a bass player. Sorry, Dawson. I can't help you there. If you want to talk to me about John Taylor, I can wax lyrical. If you want some John Deacon stuff, I can wax lyrical about him too. Richard, I've bought a few sides, including one of the first V7s. Okay, I always end up selling them as I have Fenders that play and sound better. Have you tried a Betsy, Richard, from the Bass Centre? In fact, have you tried any of the basses from the Bass Centre? I think you might be surprised at how good that. If you haven't, I think you'd be surprised how good they are compared to Fender stuff. I swear by my Betsy. There in the rack. Pound for pound, amazing. The Bruce Thomas profile bass, which is a P bass in red with tortoiseshell scratch plate, is equally fabulous. And they were $499, but I don't know. In fact, let's just have a look on the Bass Centre site, shall we? I need to go and see Barry shortly. British Bass Masters. Okay, right, that's not taking me where I want to go, is it? So the shop is good. Bass Masters profile bass. There we go. The profile, blimey. Wow, that's taken me by surprise. Well, this shows you tariffs in operation, I guess, although it shouldn't really be affecting us. The UK price of the Bruce Thomas profile bass is $645. That was $499 up until, well, when I last looked at it. Good Lord. They've had a, let's see what Betsy is then. Betsy's gone up as well, $695 now. Wow. Okay. And what are the snake bites up at? $745, so they're still roughly the same. Okay. The blockhead bass, $645. Yes, so they've had, kind of looks like an across the board price increase at the Bass Centre. Interesting. Okay, the Live and Dangerous Thin Lizzy bass is still $595. Okay. Huh. Prices are changing, clearly. So that NS Design Radius bass, $925. Okay. The NXT4A, which is a twin pickup one, $1750. Fretless is $1760 and the 5-string is $1860. Wow, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Prices on the up. Gareth, talking to Richard, I have a Made in Mexico P bass, which I keep going back to even though I have other basses. Yeah, sometimes those cheaper ones play just as good, if not better. I mean, my Mike Dirnt is Mexican. It's great. Dawson, the original Schools Out for Summer live version 45-inch single has a wicked bass line. Oh yes, I know. I used to play it in Mike Fabgear's band back in the mid-90s. He would do Schools Out. Patrick, better keep hold of my Betsy then. I think so. I think so. Although, you know, if you were looking to sell it, if prices are going up, you're probably going to get close to what you paid for it, probably. Richard Fitton Perkins, there was one more purchase this week. I'm embracing your purchasing news. Anderton's had one of their crazy deals and people from Bass Chat were buying up Solo King JM1s. Roscoe Beck, Mike Lull lookalike, because they were up for $149. Oh, okay. I keep hearing this solo king. What? I'm probably a little late. What is this? Oh, okay, right. High-end, high-performance guitars using quality. Oh, here we go. I was just reading the blurb, and it just shows me that all this stock. Right. Basses. They're not showing. All right. Okay. I have to go into the bass section, don't I? Bass guitars. Here we go. Oh, they've clearly sold out because there aren't any there. Oh well. Because they were up for 149. Wow. Okay. Were they any good, or were people buying them so they can just change everything on them? If you want to join in, you can just email me. Email address is at the bottom of the screen, brooksysbasscorner@gmail.com. I'll send you an invite. You click on the invite, you come live to stage. I can have a video conversation with you. Is there anything else going particularly good? And let's have a look at their offers, shall we? All bass guitar offers. PV Sire. Music Man Bongo for 2199. To think you used to be able to get them for about 1400 quid. Okay, Boss Katana, Ibanez. A lot of the Fender stuff hasn't got any discount on. Okay. What's in the second-hand range? Let's have a look. Okay, a couple of second-hand Fender American, Fender Standard, Fender Mustang, Court G bass. There's a Sire there. What pedals? Oh, crikey. Most of that's going to be guitar based. It is. Okay, they've got second-hand MXR Poly Blue Octave pedal. I've got one here. Fabulous. They've got the radial tone bone, bass preamp and DI box. Allows you to connect up two instruments and have the same levels and EQ. So if you swap between basses on a gig, they're both at the same level. An exotic BB preamp. No, the rest of it's all guitarist based. There's an Origin Effects DCX boost pedal, but again, that's not bass specific. So has anyone managed to get their hands on one of those dark glass anagrams yet? Anyone can report on how they sound? I've seen a few demos, a few videos up on YouTube. Kind of performing how I would expect them to, if I'm honest. No surprises that I've heard tonally. Right, Richard. Yes, I know that feeling. I have an American original jazz and a 2012 FSR hand-stained ash jazz, but I have a black maple Players Series jazz, which is a monster. Cool. Some guy mowing the lawn. Is that what you're doing? I did that earlier. That was my good deed for the day. I did the mowing. The lawn looks fabulous. So it is just coming up 5 to 10 here in London town. You're very welcome. It's Brooks's Bass Corner live chat 111. We've done 111 of these. Crazy. But thank you for keep returning week after week, gang. It's very much appreciated. Gareth Harrison, you find the whole Zach Starkey and the Who thing a little weird. They sacked him for being too busy when they originally had Keith Moon, then they hire him back a few days later. I think there was some very deep-rooted talks went on in that band over the few days between the sacking announcement and then him being taken back on. The problem is Roger Daltrey's hearing is trashed. And Zach Starkey is playing an electric kit housed in regular drum shells. So what Roger Daltrey had in his ears was up to him. Clearly, they hadn't spent enough time at soundcheck to get it right. So for him to complain that Zach Starkey was playing too loud and in his ears was nonsense. It was whatever the monitor man was putting in Roger Daltrey's IEMs that was the problem. Nothing to do with Zach Starkey. However, I did read that when he turned up for rehearsals, and they didn't probably do enough rehearsing for these shows, he wasn't quite at it, wasn't at the races. So I think there were a lot of factors going into those Albert Hall Teenage Cancer Trust shows that led to what happened. So I think what they've done is just try to dampen it all down, clear the decks and start again. So it's not that it's weird. I just think there was a lot of stuff and no one wanted to accept blame. And Roger Daltrey is now a cantankerous old bloke, and but he's an original member. So what he and Pete Townsend say, what they say goes, and if you don't like it, you leave. But I do think Zach Starkey was pulled out, or dug out is the expression. I think he was dug out, and it wasn't necessarily his fault, but apparently when he was at rehearsals prior to the shows, he wasn't on top form. So it was a bit of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, by the sounds of it. Some guy, you are mowing the grass. Fabulous. Richard, the Solo King basses of roasted maple necks, high mass bridges, and are really well finished. Okay, cool. I keep seeing the name pop up on Bass Chat, and I didn't sort of delve any further to find out more information. Not bad for 149. Okay, very good. Very good. Let me know how it plays. As Patrick has said directly below. Really well, very fast. Sounds like 70s jazz in single coil mode. Okay, very good. Clearly popular because there's none left on Anderton's site, so they've sold out. You've sent me a request, Dawson. Hold on. I'll get you an invite. Hold on. And I'll send that to you. You should have it. We will await the return of Dawson. I can see we've got 18 viewers. Thank you very much. It's good to see you. Welcome aboard. If this is your first time on Brooks's Bass Corner, you're very welcome. Good to see you. There's Dawson. I'm adding you to stage. Get ready. And we want that. There he is. Very nice hat.
Thank you.
Where did you get that hat? Where did you get that hat? Oi.
Oh, just at a department store.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Happy birthday.
Smartening up your act. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Good.
Nice and
how
fresh
you doing?
for springtime.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just having my morning AC/DC coffee
Excellent.
here. So I got about 15 minutes.
That'll get you charged up. Excellent. How's Tricks? Long time no hear.
Yeah, I did pretty good. I wonder if I can. I have some bass riffs. I wonder if I can do a share screen, and I can show
yes,
you one
can.
of my bass riffs.
You should be able to.
Okay.
You should be able to. There should be an option for that.
So we present share screen.
I think on my tariff you can do that. So if I just
window
that. That's right. I'll move the banner too. If you can't, you can always send it to me by email and I can present it up on here.
Okay. I'll try it one more time.
It should work, though. There should be an option for you to do that. I'm led to believe.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And then give it a second or two. You'll see like a timer. Here we go. So, yeah. Then we get the picture on picture on picture.
Okay, so it's just loading right now, and
that's okay.
See if I can hit the pause button. Okay, can you see it right now?
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure we'll be able to hear it, but we can try.
Okay, so I'm going to press play right now. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I can hear that. Although I'm not really hearing notes, I'm just hearing a string hitting frets. Okay. This is you playing, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't really hear it. All I can hear is like the initial attack on the string.
Okay, and then I think I have one more that's amplified.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I think it's this one right here. Yeah, this one's amplified, so...
Okay.
Loading. There we go.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting some of it. It's kind of doing... You remember when I used to play my bass through the interface? I think that's what's happened, what you'll get.
Okay, so there's some distortion there?
Well, we're not getting all the note. It's like you get the initial peak when you attack the string, and then we don't get the actual resonance of the string as it's vibrating. It's not your fault. It's the technology. It's just what it is. So
we'll try again another time.
Yeah, cool. But that's good. That's good. You're getting out playing.
Yeah.
So one thing, watching what you were doing there, and sometimes it's hard for people who are new to the instrument to get their head around what I'm about to say, but you'll get it. You'll understand what I'm saying. The way you're playing, your playing style there, that's how you play. Bear in mind, and just have this in your head when you're practicing and doing your thing, economy of motion. So I got this from Billy Sheehan watching one of his videos. And his thing was, people watch him play and see all the pyrotechnics and hands flailing around and fingers all over and this and blah. But actually 95% of his playing is what he calls meat and potatoes playing. So it's the basic stuff. Economy of motion is everything, because making accentuated movements, how you were plucking the strings was taking your fingers away from the fingerboard and the strings, so you can actually do what you're doing but actually cut half of the movement down. So think of your hand where you had it at the base of the neck, and instead of pulling the strings sort of quite a way away and then letting them go and then the next note and the next note, try and keep them in one place. And rather than where's my hand? Right there. Instead of coming away from the fingerboard and the strings, you want to move up and down. So if your main two fingers that you're going to pluck with are going to be your first finger and your middle finger and your thumb, then just really, rather than covering that amount of space, moving your hand away all the time, just move it up and down between the strings you need to play. And what you'll find is you can actually play Not that this is something to aspire to, but you'll find you're able to deliver those notes quicker because your hand isn't having to come back towards the base of the neck to play the next note because it's already there.
Hmm.
Do you get that concept? So there used to be, there still is a bass player with a band called Spin Doctors. He's called Mark White, black guy. Amazing slap player. And when you watch a video of him, he plays and it's like his hand doesn't even move. And the only thing that moves is that point of his thumb. And he's not going like a lot of slap players who'll be doing that or that. He's literally going, he's going up and down the strings and his thumb barely moves. It's the
Wow.
craziest thing. And a friend of mine went to see them play in London at Brixton Academy in 1994. And we were both big fans. I couldn't go. I had an exam next day. And I said to him, what was it like? He went, you won't believe that bass player. I said, well, I've seen videos on telly. He went, no, I've seen him live and he's got like a really big Mesa Boogie rig. He said, I've never seen a bass player play with such economy of motion as though it looks like his hands aren't even moving. I said, well, he isn't miming it. So what you've seen is how he plays. Now we have the benefit of YouTube. I went and found a load of the clips from Saturday Night Live when they used to play on there, when their albums were big. His hand barely moves. Literally, if he's slapping, I'll have to change all the camera angle, which I don't want to do. So, where am I? Get the mic out of the way. If I go, right, so if I had the bass here,
Yeah.
he literally plays. That's all he does. And it's like, how is he getting the impact for the slapping? Actually, what a lot of it was down to was his left hand. He had really good, and he plays left-handed. So his right hand had huge amount of strength in dampening and creating the percussiveness. And really what his left hand was doing was literally just accentuating the initial note and then letting the right hand do all the phrasing and everything else. It's a crazy thing. Check it out.
Wow. Okay.
Have a look on YouTube. In fact, let me find, there was one, because they did Saturday Night Live a few times. Let me just find it. I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's scarily good. Spin Doctors Saturday Night Live. And you hear all this line and it's like, how is he doing that? I just don't know. I think it's this. Let me just check, because I want to make sure I send you the right one. Ugh. Come on, I don't want the ads. Let's just go, shall we? Come on. Oh, there's an MTV new... Ah, it is that. It is that. I don't think you get too many... No, it can't be that. Because Will Lee's on there as well. I'll find the clip anyway. Let me see if it presents itself. It might be Letterman, actually. It might be this. Let me just... Yeah, I think this is it. Okay, this will do as an example. Check this out. It's just off the charts. And then, like I say, now we can look back to that 32, 33 years later, and you can see all the clips that were on in America and all the festival shows they used to do. And you just see this guy playing. It's like, I remember hearing Pocket Full of Kryptonite album and expecting to see this guy flailing away, and it was none of that. It was none of that. And then I realized watching what he was doing that really what his playing hand by the pickups was doing was literally creating the string vibration and the attack. The right hand was doing all the volume work, all the damping, all the percussiveness, all the accents and everything else was all in that hand. And I was just like, I don't know. I can't even. And now I watch it and I go, okay, I can do kind of some of that, but I think he's kind of mastered that technique. It's not like a Mark King slapping thing. It's a different, it's almost like a Larry Graham, but without all the histrionics. Check it out anyway. Anyone wants to check it out, have a look. Mark's
Yeah, it looks like he switched the roles with his right hand and his left hand, so his right hand became the one that does the melodies, even if it was some kind of bass melody, and he, from what I'm perceiving, is that he just changes it around.
It's crazy stuff. There was an album that came out just after Pocketful of Kryptonite called Home Groove Belly, I think it is. And it's basically, I think it's like a New York club recording. And it was a CD to boost Kryptonite's sales and to maintain demand until the next studio album came out. And that album, that live album, you can't get your breath. I mean, it's just fab. And he as a bass player is just on it throughout. Just every song is just like, where's he getting this from? But he's basically taken all those grooves of all the great slap players and everything else and kind of created his own thing that fits in that sort of melodic-y rock band, but it's not melodic rock, and it wasn't grunge, but they dress like grungers, and a really, now you look back, a really kind of oddball band, but their songs were great. First 4 albums are superb. Sorry, I can have the microphone back now. First 4 albums are superb. So you got once more for those of hard of hearing, the first 4 albums are fab. So you got Pocketful of Kryptonite, Home Belly Groove. Sorry, I need to call up my music player here. I've got them all on my hard drive. Spin Doctors, where is it? Here we go. Turn It Upside Down was the 1994 album, and it was Home Belly Groove. And then the last album, before they kind of went a bit odd, was You've Got to Believe in Something. There's some good stuff on there. But if you're going to buy one, I'd say get Kryptonite. But if you can go to 2, get the Home Belly Groove live album. It's fab. Let's see if I can find out some information where that was recorded. It's a club gig. Literally a club gig before they'd had a hit single. They clearly had a following because the audience kind of know them. Home Belly Groove live album. It's the second live album. Oh, 3rd release overall. So there's another album that I don't know about. It's released in 92. Tracks 4, 5, and 6 are from a free radio concert for WNEW-FM in New York. The remaining tracks were recorded in 1990 at Wetlands in New York City. So there's another EP called Up for Grabs live. Okay. But anyway.
Spin Doctors were good. They're very clever lyrics and very like fun, groovy types rhythms, and they're not like every other band. You know, they have their unique.
They weren't at the time. This is what made them stand out on the radio, because they were played a lot on the radio. Two Prince is what everyone knows, but that's not totally representative of what they did. I mean, there's a song on there called Refrigerator Car. I can't remember what time it's in. It's like this really odd time signature, but it's fab. Oh my word. And actually, it was Mark White when they came out with Turn It Upside Down. And he was the first bass player of note that was using the Ibanez ATK bass, which had come out as like the Stingray Killer. And he was the first guy I saw and heard playing them out. blew my mind. I was like, well, I've got to get one of them at some point. Some guy, I'm sorry, I'm trying to go too fast. I MySpaced that dude way back when. He replied. I was having a chat with him about a month before I set up the YouTube channel, and we were going along having a really good conversation. He just went off at a tangent, really weird, and we didn't carry on the conversation, put it that way. He went off like in some weird direction. I was like, what caused that? Anyway. Funky R, good to see you. That's Rob Steen. Good memories. I saw them in Dublin, 94. Blues Traveller was supporting. They were a great band. They really were. I never got to see them because after they toured here in 94, they didn't come back for the 96 album because the album didn't do very well. And then they kind of went on hiatus, and I think their singer split from the band and tried to have a solo career, and it didn't work. And then eventually they all got back together, I think in the 2010s. And they did a re-release, like a 20th anniversary release of Kryptonite, which is great, actually. And they did a tour to back it up. Richard Fitton Perkins, economy of motion is a very important concept in all string playing.
Yeah, that was a game changer.
Yeah, it's something I teach all the time. It's funny because during the 80s, everyone was trying to do the Mark King thing and the Flea thing, and it's lots of this, and it looks great on a stage. It's sort of all of that, and Flea's histrionics, they look great, but the economy of motion is nil, and they wear themselves out doing it. So if you can do the same thing with half the physical requirement, you're going to last a lot longer during the gig. So if you are going to do loads of slack, it's like doing pick playing, and you get these pick players like really going, their arms seize up after about 2 minutes. Much easier if you can go din, 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 just do repetitive eights, but without all the, sorry, you can't see the window, but instead of doing all of that, if you can just go like that, it's the same thing. It's what people hear. Let's have a look at this. Best views on Stream Boogie, remove the space. Yeah, we'll get rid of you. Sorry. We're not having all that. I'll just get back into there. No, there, no. Yes, there's what I want. Where have you gone? Let me find you on that list. I think you've removed yourself anyway. Yeah, you have. Knobhead. Right. Some guy, he told me he was influenced heavily by Slave. Right, that makes total sense. Absolutely. Richard, watched Tal Wilkenfeld playing on Jeff Beck concerts. Her technique is fabulously efficient too. Efficiency, economy of motion makes a big difference. Big difference. And when you understand what that is about, and it doesn't take much to wrap your brain around it, suddenly a lot of things that you found very difficult to play suddenly become achievable because you're not expending huge amounts of physical force to accomplish something that needs a third of that effort. Ollie, good to see you. How you doing? Good to have you aboard. Hope you're good. I saw your bass being sprayed. Your post on Facebook. Good. Only another 3 years to wait then. I'm joking. You know what I mean.
I have to get going soon, but I have an update for you.
Okay, sir.
I'm working on a new music video.
Okay.
The music's done, so I'm just putting the visuals to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to have me on acoustic guitar and harmonicas. And then I have my backing tracks there with bass and drums.
Great.
And then, it's going to be called, I think it's called Driving Through a Wheat Field on a Tractor.
Okay.
And I have the visuals to that, and just have to edit it. So
okay,
on the horizon, there will be a new music video from Rampage Video.
There we are. Look forward to it. You can sharpen those editing skills.
For sure.
I'm looking forward to the video.
Thank you.
Should be great. How long do you think till that's ready?
2 weeks. 2 weeks maximum.
Cool. Well, we're here every Tuesday now. Saturdays won't happen again until January, so Tuesdays it is. Well, I say Saturdays won't happen. Impromptu live chats will happen when I'm at gigs, providing the connection's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've watched a couple of the gig vlogs, the one with the church
Cool.
one, and then one
Yeah.
maybe the week before. So those were nice.
Cool. Did you like the lasers?
I love the lasers and the costumes and the whole kit
Yeah,
and caboodle.
that's it. Yeah, it was a good gig, that. Really good fun. Really enjoyed that. And there's actually 2 more with that band. So the next one is an Uncle Funk show. Then there's a Queen show with a different Queen tribute. And then the next one with Supersonic Queen, I think, is number 9. And then there's another one which is like number 12, I think. So there's
Number
a couple more.
number 9, number 9.
Number 9, yeah, exactly. Gig Vlog
Remember
9,
that from
Gig
the White
Vlog
Album?
12. I'm not a huge Beatles fan.
Okay.
No, so
Right.
you've pulled something out there. I've no
Okay.
no concept what you mean. That's my bad. That's my bad, not yours.
No worries. Okay, thanks for having me on. Happy
Okay,
birthday,
mate.
and
Thank
yeah,
you.
it's gig season, so
It is.
so
It's going to
that'll
get
be good.
busy. It's going to get busy. I know. I can see the diary. All
Okay,
right,
I'll
mate.
talk
Well,
to you
you
later.
take care. Look forward to
Okay,
seeing the video.
bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. And that's Dawson, all the way from Canada. So what's the news, Ollie? What's the bass playing news? What do you know? It's coming up 21 minutes past 10 here in London. You are on live chat 111 here on Brooks's Bass Corner. If you've got any bass issues, if your hardware's not working, or the effects pedals are knackered, or your amp's playing up, or you're trying to do something with your bass and it's just not playing ball, let us know. If I can't help you or I don't know how to fix it, I'll open it up to the floor, and the fine people here on our Brooks's Bass Corner live chat will hopefully have some advice for you as well. We're a very helpful bunch. I love it. I love it. So this week's gigs, as I said, request show on Friday, which there'll be a gig vlog for. And then Saturday, I'm doing a festival in Henley on Thames, up the M40 and across a bit. And there may well be an impromptu live chat, but I think it's going to be, well, I pretty much know it's going to be outdoors. It will be dependent on what my network coverage is like on my mobile. So if it's all good, I'll do an impromptu live chat, because I know we're going to have a fair amount of hanging around, so I can do an impromptu live chat. I was going to do one last week on the Queen show, but we got a little rushed, and once we've done sound check, there really wasn't too much time before we actually went on, so it kind of didn't make too much sense. And we had things to do on sound check, and we were running a song that we hadn't played for a while. Had to get all the BVs right, and thankfully it paid off because it went down great on the show. But this week will be a slightly different thing, so that should be good. And then Sunday, he says, banging the headphones off his head. Where am I? There we are. Oh, there we go. I'm going to see this lot. Young Gun Silver Fox in Hoxton, I think it is. Hoxton Hall. Not far from Old Street on Sunday. New album out this week on Friday, I think. I've seen people getting their vinyls over the past couple of days, so I'm hoping my CD's going to arrive tomorrow with a t-shirt as well. So this is a limited edition t-shirt for their American tour last year. Young Gun Silver Fox, if you don't know who I'm talking about, they're amazing, fabulous, superb. If you like 70s yacht rock, 80s yacht rock, really good written, well written stuff, great bass playing, lovely rhythm section, Fender Rhodes, just I can't tell you how much I love this band. I've seen them quite a few times. Haven't seen them for 2 years. Every time they've gigged in London since 2023. I saw them at the start of 2023 at Lafayette in King's Cross. I then saw them in Birmingham at the Hare and Hounds a couple of days later, just after the last album came out. Every time they've gigged in or around London and the southeast since, I haven't been able to see them because it's always been on a date I've been gigging. So it's the first gig I'll have been able to go and see them. And the new album's out on Friday. And what are they going to be playing on Sunday? The new album. So it's going to be fab. Can't wait. But if you don't know who I'm talking about, let me just find you a video. So this was like I say the current single. They keep releasing songs like on a weekly basis. But this is like their big hitter from this new album. You may have already seen it and heard it. Who knows? Let me share this. Track's called Stevie and Sly. Love it. There is a video clip of a gig I went to. Actually, it was the first gig I saw them after I discovered who they were. And I thought, right, well, I've got to see this lot do this live. Can they do it? And they, not only could they do it, they knocked the ball out of the park. And they have a horn section. Not every gig, though. But this gig, which I'm going to share this clip from, I was at. So where this camera point is, if you think go left, I was about 4 people from the front going over a bit. And what you see, this is how they sounded. And they are fab. And the BVs are fab. And the harmonies are great. And they're well worth investigating. If you're looking for some, I say new music, this is their 10th anniversary. This year they've done 5 albums with the new album coming out this week. So not really a new band, but a lot of people don't know about them. They're just fab. They supported Level 42 in 2016 because their trombone player is Nickel Thompson, who is Level 42's trombone player. He also plays bass on a couple of tracks here and there on the last album. I think he might have been involved in a bass track on the 3rd album too. But anyway, they're just fab. And the last album was absolutely killer. Absolutely killer. I've listened to that album probably 1,000 times since it came out. Love it. It's my dog walking album. I just love the way they play. I love the way they write. Their harmonies are just fab. Andy's other band, Andy being the main singer and keys player. He plays guitar as well. He's the guy, frontman for Mama's Gun. So if you know who Mama's Gun are, I can pretty much guarantee you like Mama's Gun, you're going to love Young Gun Silver Fox. But they're well worth checking out. How music used to be. Really, there's so many different influences in there. I hear all sorts. I hear Hall and Oates, I hear Toto, I hear Steely Dan. There's a track called Dream Woman on the 3rd album, which is just Earth, Wind and Fire. Carole King's in there. There's just so Ambrosia. It's just great stuff. There's some Kenny Loggins in there, and Michael McDonald, Doobie Brothers. It's just great, just really good music. So do yourself a favor. If you don't know who they are or what they do, check them out. If you like what you hear, they're on tour in May around the UK, and then they go off into Europe, do loads of dates. They're very big in Holland. They sell out the Paradiso. Literally, they put the tickets on sale. They're sold out within a day. So they're really good. Oh dear, Arsenal got beat 1-0 by PSG. Got some work to do, Arsenal, next week. Oh, we've got another subscriber. Thank you very much. If you're watching, I really appreciate it. Thank you. Super stuff. Hope you find some content on the channel you like and enjoy. Oh, there's a message here regarding the Bass Center video. Great story, although rather too many YouTube ads spoiling the continuity. I don't have control of that, unfortunately. If you're watching this, someone Ari6653, I don't have control of it. I did, and YouTube have overridden all of that now. YouTube kind of has complete control over placing of the ads. Fond memories travelling to Wapping. The Bass Centre always showcased the best of British, US custom models along with an impressive array of vintage goodness. I even managed to film the shop and team at work back in the 80s. Definitely a golden age for bass and retail. I agree. Thank you for the comment. So, anyone still there? Yes, we've got 13 people still on. It is bang on 10:30 here in London town. Here in the UK, we'll do another half an hour. Then we'll call it quits around midnight. That'll be 3 hours. Got to give the old Hobson's a rest, of course. So I will attempt to get Gig Vlog 7 up tomorrow. So that is the Uncle Funk show from Ware in Hertfordshire, which was the middle of last month. And that was the show that Jerry Blair came to, and John Cooper. Both of the lads were there. Had a great time. And you'll see I've got the Warwick Bootsy bass on for the first set on that show, causing me all sorts of problems and issues, I think is the polite way to describe it. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it, trying to remedy it. We will see. I've got a job list, and on there it says contact the Dario for the strap that might solve the Warwick Bootsy bass. So we will see. Stream health, how are we doing? Let's have a quick look here. Yep, all good. Stream health is excellent. We like that. Where are we? There we go. So there'll be a bunch of bass and pedal reviews and demos going up. Hopefully before next Tuesday, with a bit of luck. Hopefully. I'm trying to find a way to film the pedal demos quickly so that I can get them out to you quicker. I need to have like one day where I can film like 10 videos, like rapid fire, bang, 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 bang. Then I can edit them up like a production line. Just got to find a way to do it. At the moment, the office is in a bit of flux because of having the BT upgrade for the broadband fibre. So I may, just looking at it, I might be able to make use of that corner, which normally I can't. But I might be able to get a light to work on that corner and a camera. We'll see. Leave it with me. Tomorrow. That could work, actually. That could work. We might have a result. I'm just going to have a look into this video. The guys complain about the number of ads. Let's have a look. Okay, yes, YouTube has basically doubled up on the ad slots. I didn't put all those ads in there. That's YouTube's done that. Okay. What's that? 2, 12. Yeah, I wasn't in charge of that, I'm afraid. If you're still watching, that wasn't me. That was YouTube. Not my doing. Not guilty, governor. Here we go. Ollie, I asked Toby Diggins at JD to mix a darker shade for the JD. Very chuffed with the colour he came up with. Yeah, it looks nice. I'll probably get it back summer of 2030. Yeah, you'll be a married man with 4 kids by the time that appears. I'm joking, of course. Hopefully it'll come back quicker. But there are delays in getting their products out, that's for sure. Richard, sounds like you're busy this weekend. Yeah, two gigs and going to a gig. Our live tribute show is a theatre job in Banbury on Friday. Then you're at the Kingston Warners near Yarmouth on Saturday. Very good. I'm down in Lowestoft on 17th at Marina Theatre with... Actually, which one am I there with? So there's a band and they've got 3 different names. I can't remember which version I'm playing with. Let's have a look here. 17th of May. It's Radio Gaga. So that's what we're doing. Radio Gaga at the Marina Theatre in Lowestoft on the 17th of May. I've never played with them. I know the bass player. That's why I've been asked to do the job. So it'll be new acquaintances. Looking forward to it. Should be good. They do very well. They're a good band. Got the song list through today. I think there's 2 songs on there that I don't normally play. So a little bit of homework to do, which is fine. There we are. Yep. You were in Windsor, Ollie, the other day and saw a guy that looked exactly like you. Poor guy. There's a lot of us about, you know. Yeah, I've had that many times in my life. If he didn't have a Brooks's Bass Corner hoodie on, then it wasn't me, all right? I had to keep looking back at him. He ended up giving me a funny look, so I speed walked away. Oh, well. Well, if it was me, you'd have come up and said hello, wouldn't you? But no, it clearly wasn't me. The one I used to get was when I had blonde highlights about 20 years ago. People used to say, "Oh, you look like the blonde one out of S Club 7." I said, "He's about 12 years younger than me, but I'll take that. I'll take it. You want to say I look 12 years younger, then I'll take that. That's all good." What's the other one I used to get? If ever there were any sort of singers or actors that had blonde highlights, I'd get the "you look just like," and it's like, I can't look like everyone, can I? Gareth Dawson's song title sounds like a Wurzels tribute. Well, this is it. Let's wait and see. The proof will be in the pudding. We will see. See how the video comes out as well. Well, we're rattling along. It's all good. Just looking at the analytics here. Very good indeed. Although average view duration for this live chat is actually down on what we normally get. We get closer to about 18 or 19 minutes, and at the moment we're on 13. Which means we've had a lot of people sort of dropping in and dropping out. That's all good. That's all good. It was my birthday yesterday, sir. Happy late birthday. 34. I wish. Add 19 onto that, and you're closer. 34. Goodness. My 34th birthday. 2006. Blimey, I don't remember. Was I gigging? Probably was gigging. I used, for a whole sway through the early 2000s, and up to about 2015. Nearly every birthday I was gigging. April 2006. We'd only been in this house 4 months at that point. Let's have a look. 28th was a Friday. Yeah, I'd have been gigging. I'll tell you what, I might even have the diary here. Hang on. I have. Just got to find it. Hold on. 2006, 2009. 2007. What's that? Is that it? Here we go. 2006. I'll tell you where I was. Because I'm that sort of bloke. Let's have a look. Well, here we go. Perfect. Right. So 2006 started on Monday 24th. On Wednesday the 26th, I had a Green Day tribute gig at a club in Edinburgh. Oh yeah, I remember this. So went up on the train day before, had a night out in Edinburgh. We got leathered. I think we were in the bed about 6 o'clock. Did the show the next day. Got leathered after that as well. We then got the train back on the Thursday. I had to get from King's Cross. It was King's Cross, or did we go to Euston? I think it was King's Cross. And there was no scope for the missing the train or there being a problem, because I had a gig at the Redback in Acton the following day. If that train had been late, I was knackered, right? There was no way I could save the Redback gig. But thankfully we got back. I got on the tube from King's Cross back to Ealing Broadway, got the bus home because we lived in oh no, I was here, wasn't I? I think I left. I can't even remember. I'm sure what I did then. I think what I'd done is I'd left my car at my father-in-law's flat in West Ealing. So I went to Ealing Broadway, got the bus from Ealing Broadway down to West Ealing, got in my car, went home, picked my gear up, came back to Acton. That's it. So then I had my covers band at the Redback on the night before my birthday. On my birthday. Well, it wasn't the most salubrious gig, put it this way. It was the Crown in Cricklewood, which wasn't a particularly glamorous gig at all, but it was a regular gig that we did once a month. God dear. Yeah, that's not one for the books, is it? And then on the Saturday, the 29th, we did a gig at a wedding at the Turkey Mill in Maidstone. And I think that was the gig when we met Mark, can't remember his surname, who was a Robbie Williams tribute. It was that. And it was there that he then got my number and then used me on his Robbie Williams tribute a couple of times. One of which being the gig with Smiley, the drummer that I was talking about earlier. Yeah, crazy times. And then I start looking through May and it was just carnage. Gigs left, right and centre. Jeepers. I remember all these. The Saturday, 27th of May, Green Day's in Peterborough, 9 a.m. setup. When you finish, you're going off to Radwinter End. I think that was over in, well, it wasn't Cambridgeshire, it was Essex for a wedding gig. A duo gig at Bromley O'Neill's the following day. All these gigs. Some of them still exist. Quite a lot don't. Wow. Halcyon days. Halcyon days. Gareth, happy belated birthday. Thanks. That little bit closer to your retirement. Cheeky. I won't be retiring until I'm 75. That's my plan. As long as I'm still out playing, I won't have to. If the YouTube channel suddenly rocketed and I didn't need to gig, then great. But gigging is what I do. It's what I enjoy. It's what I like doing. And I'll gig as long as I possibly can, to be fair. But, and I've seen this firsthand, when you start getting a bit older, okay, I've got grey hair. I know. I have grey hair. I'm not taking the cap off because I've got bad rosacea at the moment. And I used to have blonde highlights in my hair. But since I went grey, I could put colour in it. I'm kind of embracing the salt and pepper look, purely because I've done so many years of having highlights put in when I have brown hair. I really can't be asked going through colouring for brown. I may do it, who knows, but at the moment I don't need to. And when I do Uncle Funk, we wear a headpiece anyway, so no one sees my hair. But we'll see. You never know. I wouldn't put it past it. It's just for men, exactly. All of those sort of things. Don't knock the afflicted, Gareth, because it comes round a little too soon, believe me. Your time will come, young man. Your time will come. I can remember all the times I poked fun at my bandmates going, oh, the old creaky joints and all that. And they said to me, don't laugh too soon, because one day it will come your way. You think it's ages away and it isn't. And they were right. It's rattled round just a little too quick for my liking. There we go. Right, it is 11:15. We'll do another 15 minutes and then we'll call it a night. So if you've got any questions about basses, bass amps, bass effects, accessories, you want to talk about the channel, any of the content here, you want to talk about the stuff I used to do for the magazines, you want to talk about other people's channels, I don't mind. Whatever works for you guys. If you've got any gigs coming up you want to talk about, let us know. If you're thinking of buying some new gear, maybe a new bass, new amp, new effects, and you're not sure, and you'd like some advice or what to look out for, let me know. Good, that's all working. Okay, it's all looking good. Any gear regrets? Whoa, yeah. One of mine's letting go of the 60s Vox dynamic bass amp I used in the video I sent you a few days ago. Cool. I semi-regret selling the Mark King Stingray, because the Stingray I bought after it, albeit 5 years later, wasn't as good. Just wasn't as good. The one I had was an 8990, and back then they gloss coated the necks and it just sounded far better. I've tried replicating it, and the Stingray I've got, I changed the pickup, changed the circuit. It's kind of there. It's different. Never been able to replicate that. I regretted buying the Squier Mike Dirnt that I then sold on a couple of years later. But I didn't know I wasn't going to be doing any more Green Day gigs when I bought it. I thought I was going to be doing lots of depping for various Green Day tributes, and in the end I didn't. So that was a regret. It was just like, I didn't really need to buy that. I don't know if I regret this, but during lockdown, I investigated getting so I already had a Status Series 2 Matrix, Series 2000 Matrix, which I'd bought. It had gone through the houses. 3 or 4 people had owned it. I bought it in 2012 because I didn't want to keep taking my red Status Empathy with me to my Middle East gigs and then it go and walk about at airports. And it was also starting to pick up a few dings doing those gigs. And I thought if I could get a Status that wasn't immaculate and brand new, wasn't going to cost me a fortune, then I'd use that as my base for when I did stuff abroad. And lo and behold, I found this Series 2000 Matrix. I bought it, and I remember taking it out on a gig and thinking there's something wrong with the pickups here, and there was. So one of the pickups had been replaced, but had been wired in wrong. So I took it to the gallery about a year later in Camden, and they sorted it. They went, oh, they put the pickups around the wrong way, and they need to be flipped. And Anyway, we got it all working. It sounded great. And I then didn't really use it for quite a while. I had other basses I was using for the bands I was in. And then when we went into COVID, I didn't have gigs. I got very little from the government to live on. So I ended up shifting a couple of basses, one of which was a 62 reissue Jazz. And the other was this Series 2000 Matrix. And it was a bit scratched and dinged and scuffed and in places, and it wasn't immaculate, and that was fine. I wasn't needing it to be, but I inquired with both Sims and Status about having it resprayed, maybe having done in a white, so it was a natural graphite, but it was battered, well, not battered, but it had war wounds, and the quotes that came back were seriously hefty. I was looking at in excess of £1,000 to strip it, respray it in white, and then re-lacquer it and put it back together. And that was a little too substantial for me to bear. Little did I know that 2 years later, Status were going to announce their semi-retirement, which pushed all the prices up. So I regret probably letting it go for the price I did, but at the time, that's what I was happy to let it go for, and that's what the guy that bought it for. Now, clearly, obviously, I should have kept hold of it. But to be honest, I wasn't using it. I wasn't doing the trips that I bought it for. So, let it go. And again, the guy that's got it, he could sell it, but he isn't going to get the excessive amounts that you would if it was well looked after, not immaculate, but if it didn't have all the damage and wear and tear on it. But it has got all that damage and wear and tear, and I know that to have it redone is going to cost about £1,000, which I wasn't prepared to sink into it. If he wants to sink it into it, then that's great, but I have a feeling he wants to sell it on, but he's going to struggle to get top dollar for it because it's not an immaculate Status. But there we go. Stacy, embrace the grey. I don't let it worry me anymore. I think I'm at that age where I'm not too shabby for 53. I could do without rosacea. That would please me immensely. And actually, rosacea stopped me from filming on many occasions where I was going to have a day of filming and it just got so bad that I just thought, I can't put this on screen. It is what it is. I can only manage it. I can't get rid of it. Ollie, you bought yourself a Trace Elliott 712 SMC the other day off Facebook Marketplace for £30. Well done, you. Excellent. As I said earlier on, Trace Elliott stuff, just make sure you got some money put aside for possible repairs at some point. None of that gear is new. It's all, well, 712, well, you're looking at 30 years old plus. So just have a little pot of cash for any repairs that might need doing on it. Stacy, although I like seeing my Root touch-up clients every 3 to 4 weeks, of course. Gareth, bills need to be paid. Correct. They did in COVID. Yeah, I wasn't going to sell that bass, and the guy had made an inquiry about 2 years before COVID. Did I want to sell that bass? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, what do you want for it? And I said, that. And he came back and went, oh, I'm not paying that. And that was it. Nothing else was said. And then he came back while we were in COVID. He said, you still got that back? Yeah. Do you want to sell it? Yeah. Came back and said, can we meet in the middle? And I went, yeah, all right. So that was how that went. But again, I was willing to sell it because I wasn't willing to plough £1,000 into it. You sent me your one regret on email, Richard, so there's going to be a picture here. Whoa! This is my one regret. I traded it at the gallery for one of the Music Man Sabre remakes. Series 2 Bolt-On had an amazing Cocobolo top and a phenolic paper fingerboard. It was the best 5-string I've ever played. Looks it. Yeah, you got the phenolic maple. I'm assuming I can share this photo. So this is Richard's regret. Yeah, I can see why. Right. I'm sure you'll all agree with me and share his pain in this. Let me get rid of that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? And you're talking to a status fan here. Yeah, I can see where you're coming from. Personally, I would have found a way to buy one of the Sabre remakes on credit and kept that, but that's just me. I know a lot of people do a one in, one out kind of thing. I've not operated that way ever. And actually, it's worked to my benefit now doing the channel, because it means I have all this stuff for video content. But Jerry Blair, you made it. Have a good day. Thank you, sir. That was yesterday. It was my birthday. Thank you very much. Yeah, Richard, you have my condolences at that. Yeah, that'd be a regret for me. Although I would have insisted, my only thing with that, I'd want a gloss top coat on that body, which would really make the Cocobolo ping. But it's lovely colouring, lovely figuring. Great. Do you know where it is? No chance of buying it back. Well, probably not if you sold that before they announced their semi-retirement. Wow, that's lovely. Cocobolo, lovely topwood. Weighs a ton though. It can, depending on the selection, it can be very heavy. Sadly, I don't have any Cocobolo top basses. The actually one of the best ones I ever heard was a Matrix. It was part of the X Mark King collection in '97 at the Bass Centre, and Alex Carter bought it. So it was a Matrix P&J with a Cocobolo top and star LED inlays, and it was one of the most amazing basses I've ever heard in my life. And I regret not saying to Alex, if you want to sell that, I'll buy that, because next time I saw him, he'd already shifted it on to buy something else. And I think guy sold the Mark King Stingray to Morgan in France has got it. In fact, I know he has, yes, because he sent me a picture, because I've got an upcoming video on Mark King's bass collection, or basses through his career, and I've got a picture of it on there. You've never seen the Cocobolo bolt on again? It'll surface. These things invariably do. They do. Yeah, Stacey was impressed. That is stunning. Not tortoiseshell. Not even sure what that figuring is, actually. It's just figured Cocobolo. Yeah, tortoiseshell effect, yeah. It's a cracker. But like I say, I'd put a gloss coat on that. A, to protect it from dings and bangs, but also it'd make the grain and the colouring really pop. Not that big a fan of satin finishes, matte finishes. Not my thing. Just book match from one piece, yeah, I can tell. It's outstanding. I get your regret, man. Really. I get that. I get that big time. Yeah, I don't think the only other status I got rid of was a T-Bass Seafoam Green. Again, I got a good price for it. I think I got what I paid for it. It was 600 quid at the time. And that money went straight into paying for the Kingfisher Blue GB, which we still have, of course. As though that's going anywhere. No chance. Right, it is 1 minute to 11. I'm going to wrap everything up. So, guys and girls, thank you very much for the birthday wishes. Thank you for staying tuned, getting involved. It's been an absolute pleasure tonight. Thank you very much. What's that, Stacey? Like effing Purple Heart or Bloodwood? Two heavy but gorgeous colours. Correct. Jerry Blair, I've just checked out Young Gun Silver Fox. They're really good. They are really good. Is it the same guy? Mum's Gun, the lead singer, sounds the same. Yes, it is. Mum is gone to a wicked bat. They're at Hoxton Hall on Sunday, and then they're off around the UK. I think they're in Ipswich Friday or Saturday, I think. But check them out. They're really good. Really good. They are as good live as they sound on record. Richard, great night as usual, mate. Thanks as always. Thank you, sir. Well done. Ollie, good to see you. Take it easy. Have a good week. Enjoy all your bass adventures, guys and girls. I will be in Greek Street for Greek Street Live on Friday, the request show. And then I am at a festival in Henley with Queen Tribute on Saturday night. So if you're at either of those, I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you here. Live chat 112 next week, next Tuesday, 8 o'clock, same time, same place. Gig Vlog 7 going up tomorrow. Possibly a gig review or demo going up on Friday. Yeah, we're flying, aren't we? We're flying. So look, have a great week. Enjoy your bass playing. Whatever you've got going on, be safe. Take it easy. If you're traveling, be careful. There's idiots on the roads. And just look after yourselves, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Take it easy. Good to see you.